Yeah.
Hangout on air is live now, seems. There appears. Can we add? Ah, yeah. What? Yeah. Right here.
Nina, hi. Nice. Yeah, from Mothership, yeah. Good, thank you. Good. Of course, of course. When I have time, I was running late all morning.
We're setting up
Okay.
skates and
Do you guys want some coffee? Or
yeah, we brought some stuff and I was waiting for Andy to come. But yeah, sure.
Yeah, I can make some right now.
Yeah, sure. So we actually brought some.
I'll rather come myself.
You.
That's a good reason to make. Can I leave my phone here?
Yeah.
Want you some?
I mean, in
No, I haven't.
Charlotte, and
Hi.
Sarah.
Oh, awesome.
And also, hosting here today.
Okay, super cool. So we have very similar jobs.
What do you do?
I'm from Mothership of Work.
Membership at work.
Yeah. So from a couple of blocks down the road from Pico by UC. We have a,
Oh, those guys.
those guys, yeah. Yeah.
What do you do there?
Well, my Finnish job title is but basically captain is what's kind of what qualifies as the English counterpart. So I run the joint. I try to run.
I like the food.
Pretty good, huh? We did a search and apparently I'm the only one who has that sort of job description.
In the world.
Well, we were thinking of what to call it in English, and then we were like, so maybe that's like vibe director, and then we called it that, and so people were like, that sounds good. So we have to change. We have to do this. We want to do better.
We roll out, we use templates.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Better than vibe director.
So do you have a
Yeah, we were like, what, like feeling.
cool
Dude who sits around pretending to know stuff.
do you have something?
I was actually just going to show a short video, if that's okay.
Is that online?
That's online, that's on our
Okay,
Facebook
we'll go online.
page. Yeah, that's the
Okay.
first video on our Facebook page, or the most recent
We'll
one.
let you know.
Yeah,
Still waiting for you on the first one. Oh, you can stay on.
okay. Okay, cool.
Then it's you.
Cool.
Then I'll go.
All right,
And we have a conversation.
sounds great, sounds great. I have my next meeting at 3, so as long as I'm back
I
at,
think by then.
but at the mothership at 3, I'm good.
I can look last week.
Okay.
I think we'll ask questions.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
right now, we have some stuff shared.
You're gonna be here?
You can make coffee.
Yeah, just hold the phone today.
Yeah, do it already.
I will come back.
Maybe we can, well, after, all right, eat and stuff.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah? We'll say,
I need this.
let's like a little bit. Yeah. How much would you do? We'll do it.
Something for, jelly chicken? Yeah. I have this, like there is a description. There's. So those guys supposed to. They have to make some. Okay. I did on that. Yeah, so I have a lot of information. So
Yeah.
that's what I was finishing. So this is one thing which is okay.
Now there's some chips coming. That's happening.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
I'm coming back in August.
Because we're good. At least you-
Are you gonna have an event?
Yeah.
Alright.
Também vou falar com elas, vai ela falar com elas, já as perspectivas
Well,
também.
we all see that stuff.
Is it-
Ele tá em cima de cão. Minha mãe toda a vida.
Are you? Look, he's getting some. Pedro? Really? How are you? You good? Where are you?
Oh.
Sex, starting to live streaming. And then we do. Transforming a hospital. We left from this mouth, we heard this mouth. Using the yellow buses, you see?
Hey, Pedro. What a pain.
But we were supposed to come before they after ours. But then only if you could bring us.
Pedro is muted. Or am I muted?
Yeah.
Copy video off. Video on.
Just watching.
Selfish.
Oops. So you got there. Can any of you invite people inside here or not? Hiya. Wait for it.
Well, I have all the features like normal, screen sharing and all that kind of stuff.
So I think anyone should be able. Because up there, does it show like a small person with a plus where you can click and add someone else there?
No.
It doesn't show. So it's just okay. I re-invited Tita and Katarina, so let's see if they.
I don't hear Pedro.
Is muted.
Uh-huh. But he doesn't look like he hears us. If I start like, "Woo, Pedro, hello."
Why is he muted?
He's looking worried. He's looking really, really worried.
Pedro, you're muted.
Or did you mute him, Pedro?
No.
Pedro.
I was just.
Pedro 1?
I can't.
Pedro 2. No, it doesn't. No, I don't think so. Ayo. Hello. You can hear me. Onko hyvä? Mitä sinä syö? Mikäs maistu? Minä syön jotain. Mikä se on?
Olha, tá a Maria Sari. Pode falar.
Não precisa nada.
Ai, calma. Vai estar naquela mesa pessoal. É a mesa seguinte. Tem que não posso conseguir. Yeah, just trying to. I was waiting for someone helping. She's a little bit late, so I'm trying to. I think we're trying to make this a little bit more more of a conference place. Maybe the tables.
I can do it.
Like straight here, and then we put the chairs. Not really organized.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Maybe we could change the table back for a different. Is it yours?
Yeah.
Good idea there.
So it's just, if you search for Mother's Work on Facebook, So yeah. And it's installed as a video down here.
Oh, that's.
Down right here. Yeah.
You.
So the
And the office was.
You can see everything, right? Say yes. Can you hear, Pedro? Can you hear? No, can't hear. Seems like. Is that right? No, we'll see.
Well, I can hear you here in Gaia.
Mm.
Hello, mother of work. Is that what it's called?
Mothership.
Mothership of work. Okay, even more dramatic.
That's what we call the mothership of work or the motherfucking work. Sorry.
It's Nina.
Hi.
That's Nick.
Hello.
Hi.
I don't know where's Nick today.
Terve.
Diane.
Okay.
Olen Kajaanissa.
Okay.
So if you anyone free. Yeah, so we're just waiting for Donald to come. In the meantime, the idea is to have those two presentations, and then we'll talk about now modelship of work. Is it workplace? Then we'll be talking about projects. Basically, you want to open new collaborative space in the hospital.
It's a really cool space.
Then I'll bore you to death. So here and there you can have a chat sometimes if you have questions or anything else. If you at some point want to bring in any subject, and I'll already propose to talk about this project is for magazine fashion series. Let's see. Anything that you want to bring in doesn't need to be anything organized yourself. But please didn't stand for thing. Or I have this other idea. You can either just say, bring up the whatever comment you want you have, or there's post-its. Those help. So post-its, you have a pen there, and you can write it, and you can put it here on the box. Okay, so any idea to bring that's at any moment. Just write it there, put it there, then we go back to it, and go in the end. So who wrote this, or sometimes just a comment, you don't really need to like it is explain what you want to say. Or you can just talk. So I guess there's tea, coffee, and the last one getting here will get into. Yeah, anything, yeah, whatever you want. We'll put the post-its there if you want to just make a note so you remember, or if you want at any moment in the end. Bring it there.
Aha! I think I know you. Hello, welcome to board.
Hello, hello, hi. Lovely earrings, super.
Thank you.
Yes.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, great to see you too. Okay. Tsempia, have a good day. Moi moi.
Moi moi.
Yeah, we have someone there already from Portugal on the school side.
Okay.
Someone in Lagos, you know.
Sure, I've been there.
Yeah.
I lived 3 years in Lisbon.
Yeah.
Yeah. First in Coimbra, and actually 4 years. 3 years in Lisbon.
Okay.
Before that, 1 year.
You were studying?
Yes. I was 7 years in Coimbra, and then same, yeah. Yeah, I heard it's like more than 20 degrees now.
Yeah. It's very, very good. When you get sun and you cannot wear a jacket, we can wear it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, there's coffee here.
Okay.
I think if this doesn't work really well.
Pedro, Thomas is asking me to add him to this, but I don't have any access to add anybody.
Can you? Where is he asking?
He was asking me via Facebook, so it's funny. I have my phone with Facebook and my computer here.
Always like that.
I had to close all the applications because my computer decided to take off.
Can you ask him his Gmail and then write here on the group chat?
Okay.
Speaker.
We actually have.
Okay. Vill prata om
Tudo bem?
Inte det.
Olha, Tita.
Hey.
Right. So you can hear Ralph, right?
Tita.
Okay. So what we'll do is during the event we'll mute here. You can talk with each other. We won't hear that.
Okay.
And if you have any questions or anything, don't write here. Write on the Facebook event page. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
We can follow those.
Uh-huh.
Mute myself? No, I cannot mute myself. Right. So.
You cannot mute yourself. That's like impossible.
You can. I didn't. I stopped listening.
Yeah, because Nick unmuted me. That's fine.
Ah. Okay.
So shut up.
Oh, I was trying to put an @ sign for Thomas's Gmail. It's obviously a shortcut if you try to put that. Hello, Tita.
Hi, Nick.
You are Nathan. Really good to see you. Wow. No, see. I'm trying to write Thomas's Gmail address here, but I'm not doing very well. How do I get the @ sign without muting people? Let me see. I have to do it a different way. Yes. So I think that they're socializing over there in the corner.
Yeah.
Or ice breaking. Thomas, They've been doing some lovely illustrations recently, Tita. They're really good.
Thank you.
I like those very much, those colorful ones. Okay, then I go here. And then I put this. Yes. Okay. Pedro's not going to notice that. Do you have a button to add people to this?
Let me check. Not that I see. I don't think so.
Okay. Because, for example, me and you and Pedro in Lagos, we have joined the Hangout, but I guess there's also a link somewhere for the live broadcast.
Oh, but I think in Lagos we were using Appear In.
Right.
And this is Google Hangouts.
Mm. It's just that Thomas is trying to connect, and Thomas. How
I'm
do
not
I?
even sure how I got in.
I think you were invited by Pedro, so Pedro has to invite.
Yeah.
Pedro has to invite Thomas as well. This is why he asked me to put it in the group chat here.
Oh, I see. I know. Found where I can add people. Thomas.
Thomas is listening from somewhere. He must be listening from the live link. So we're live to the world. Hello world! Welcome to this live broadcast coming to you in collaboration with Tita in Óbidos. Are you in Óbidos, Tita? Or
No,
in
I mean Caldas.
Caldas in Portugal, just north of Lisbon. We have Pedro working from somewhere at home in Lagos in the south of Portugal. Me appearing online from somewhere up north in Finland, amongst the trees and the lakes. And Thomas, I believe, probably outside in the country somewhere near Óbidos. Hello world, says Thomas. So I think he is listening to the live broadcast. Okay, if there is anybody online, the picture you'll
Nick, do
probably
you
get
have Thomas' email? Because I don't. Oh, it's here.
It's in the chat.
Yeah.
Colombia is listening.
Columbeira.
Colombeira. Okay, Colombia is in northern Britain. Yeah. Colombeira. Tudo bem, tudo bem.
But I don't
It
hear or
says
see Thomas.
Thomas has joined this hangout. Okay. Is he? No. Famous Colombia. So we should be telling the world what's happening over in the corner. I believe that they are ice breaking with cups of tea, coffee, cakes, and some maybe some hosting of some kind. Maybe people are being introduced to each other. So perhaps we should introduce the world to us. Who knows? So I'm reading what Thomas is saying. So I can see that Thomas has been added as a guest.
Yes, but he hasn't come in.
Then I think maybe the email address is wrong, because it should be Thomas dot. Yeah, and Tita, his email address has no dot in it.
Okay.
Between Thomas and Shitek, it has a dot. And he's writing messages really fast to me.
Then who's this Thomas? I added.
I don't know. Maybe it's another famous Thomas Schittek from Colombia. Yes, there is a dot. Nice to see you too, Thomas. I think I am narrating the live broadcast of this event right now with complete rubbish.
Because only you can talk to Thomas. I'm not seeing anything or listening to anything. So.
Tita,
Yeah.
can you help with in the event page? There's people like asking how can they join online, blah blah, and stuff like that. Can
But
you?
I'm not really sure. How does this hangout thing work?
Yeah, just you know, they're asking where is, and the post is already there.
It is.
So you have. Do you have in this like bottom right corner? You have these links.
Bottom right.
There's a link saying links. If you click on it, it gives you 3 different links.
I don't have that.
You don't have that.
No.
Okay, so how can you do here?
Hey, I can see that.
You can?
Yeah.
That's weird.
So it gives me my drive, shared with me, and upload.
So if someone asks, like, one is for the event page on Google+, the other is the YouTube page where you can just stream the...
Yeah, but hang on a minute. No. This only gives me access to my Google Drive and things that are shared with me, but no links. I mean, no links like for this chat or anything.
Now I see. Now I'm on YouTube.
Okay.
On YouTube, you have a little thing at the bottom that allows you to come into the
Okay, so the
room,
response is this YouTube link that I told you.
Yeah.
Is for live streaming, so people can follow the event.
Okay.
They want to join here on the Hangouts.
Yeah.
What you do is you ask their Gmail.
Okay.
Okay. And then you paste here on the chat where like Nick did with Thomas. Then I can add it here. So any of you can do that. You just
actually Tita could add Thomas already. It's just the email address was a little bit different.
Yeah. I think I can add him. Yeah.
But the funny thing is that it's my picture on the live broadcast, Pedro, not the room.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I can see me looking back at me. This is a little bit surreal.
Okay. What about now?
A second. Let me play it.
Now it moves. You can see more people, right?
Oh, that's scary.
So there at the event page, there's this AJ asking, how can you join online? If you could.
I am, yeah.
Trying to.
I was thinking today put some music. I have my computer.
Trying to see this PCR. You liked the post. Right? So.
Okay. I have some. Como eu chamo aquilo ali? Bola de circo, bola de malabares, para fazer a inclusão, cada você pode brincar um pouco em relação a ela. Mandar uma bolinha para mim.
Some of them already sent messages like.
Really? Okay, so no traction.
Hey, Jan. Hi. I was just sending you a message. Oh, yeah? How are you? Do you have your presentation? I don't have any slides. I have some pictures. So you maybe YouTube video. Do you have those online? Yeah. So, I think. Always have trouble with
You have a computer that's online.
Yeah. You have those next section. The web page.
Yeah. Check pictures. Yeah.
So the exact name of the project is Colab. For them, it's up to the flights.
Yeah.
I don't have a song. I did that. We're there already. That's all. It's actually free for a lot of becoming like this one that people use. Small town, not any cozy like the village. There's all the party. Yeah. There's also very near. There. If you want to live, or then if you want to really do it, it's more. Yeah, pretty near. 300 kilometers from us. There's pretty cheap flights. There's boats. And then go from to yeah, Portugal, then it's like here. We got bus from Portugal, they're pretty cheap. 2 hours. Yeah, like 1 hour.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, basically it's a lot. There. I think from these companies here, they have a speaker. Green now empty. They're all set up. Yeah, they're.
Vai pedir o host para dizer sobre esse espaço aqui?
Very good. That's a good idea. Yeah. Can you give me also the light where it becomes a little bit better? Can you see the?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
A little blurry or?
A lot of light, so it's not going to be very good. But probably you'll hear everything. Hopefully you'll hear everything here. I don't know where he's going to stand. Maybe near the computer. I'll make it a little bit better. It's good where.
Of course.
Okay, so we'll start. I will tell you a little bit very popular. Then we will have Jonas go talk about and then we have Nina on how to work, and then me. So you sit around, be get comfortable. Remember about the ideas here, and then moment. Okay.
Okay, welcome everyone. I'm happy you organized this event here. It fits our goals really well. Helsinki I company is entrepreneurship society of University of Helsinki. We are also open co-working space. So, any one of you want to come, if in the center you want to work, you can come here. We have Wi-Fi and coffee here. Sort of the same as Mothership.org is doing. They have a different angle because we are funded by University of Helsinki and the City of Helsinki. So we provide everything for free. So they don't pay for this event. And so our aim is to bring academic knowledge into action, both for students and researchers, but not excluding anyone. So also, it's wonderful when I come here and there's often people who have no affiliation to our university that they are working. That's what I feel like really awesome. So we organize lots of events. There's last year 350 events here. But it also includes events like this, which is not organized by us. So I'm just helping here now. Actually, I have a double role here because I'm chairman of the board at the Helsinki I company. And also today I'm hosting here. It's the first day that I do this because we opened a new space in Meila, the medical faculty. So we are very excited about that. Also a little bit entrepreneurial mindset. People who study medicine, which is not really medicine, because that's a career path. But maybe the clearest career path there is. You study in the hospital, and then you work in a hospital. But we get those guys to innovate also. We have another place in Meetup, which is the company for biology and forestry and bioeconomy. And then we hope we can also open it for placement. Maybe over next year in Kumpula, which is the study of physics, computer science. Next year, hopefully, they'll open a new venue down the road a little bit, the old administrative building for the rest of Helsinki. And we will move there. A huge space. It would be absolutely amazing. Looking forward to that. So, but please, you can use our venue, use our webpage, thinkcompany.ai. You can use that to book the venue. And come here, we are open here every day, Monday to Friday from 10 to 6. There will always be a host here who will tell you more about us and what we do. Just join the movement.
Okay, so join us now. You will tell us a little bit about this. What they're trying to do with that old hospital here in Helsinki, in becoming an open space for operation, I guess, in some sorts. And we'll explain a little bit better what is this project.
Yeah, thanks. I work as my day job for the City of Helsinki, the Citizen Participation Unit, there for a meeting in half an hour. But this is a hobby of mine. I'm involved in this cooperative, Osuuskunta in Finnish, that we set up to kind of take over legally squat this old hospital, Lapilahden Sairaala. So if you don't know where it's located, it's pretty much here downtown, in this park between cemeteries, next to where Itävälä starts from. So I've been actually renting out this Omenapuutarha, this wooden house. I don't know, has any of you been there? So, I rented that from the city like 5 years, something like that, 5 years ago, and then been renting it out for private use for a small fee, but then for free. So that's been my original connection to the Lapilahti area, and then when these old former hippies who were some of them involved in Lepakko. But that used to be pretty close by, actually, originally just here. This old venue that was for kind of repurposed venue in 80s. That was kind of the hub for alternative culture, Radio City, and things started from. They were involved in that, and now those guys are back with this project. Some of them, so it's been fun to work with them. I heard that they had this plan, this pretty audacious plan of renting out this building from the city, and I got involved and I've been now on the board of that cooperative for 2 years. We managed then last fall, after like several years of working in the city, to reach agreement that we rent out this whole side of the hospital, half of the whole hospital, 4,000 square meters or something like that. We pay 10 how much is it? We pay 10,000 euros a month plus VAT for that, and we share it with the members of the cooperative.
How many are you?
We are about more than 100 members. Not everybody has a room, I think, but almost everybody. If you haven't seen the place, yes, this is how it looks like when you arrive, and that's the main building. So we have this side, like the main entrance, and actually I have this space here rented out. We're planning to put a organic store there, self-service. We can pick out what we need and pay with it with mobile. That's pretty much self-sustaining. That's something we're interested in. The other side of the hospital is rented out by the London Land Association, and together with these organizations working for mental rehabilitation. So we're working together with them. That's the Omena line, and these are this side of the inner courtyard, and then this front courtyard, and then huge inner courtyard. So it's quite unique space in that it's so close to the city. This is from the sea. Itävalley comes here on this side of the hospital, and there's the big inner courtyard. There's a sauna tent now, still at least some more weeks open. But it's a sauna place.
How many people right now?
We're working with the art side basically of the hospital, which we have. I can show you a map of this space. We'll be having a lot of events in the summer, especially ice cream festival is coming up, for example. It's the latest that I've heard of. But probably some live music brunches and stuff on the courtyard. Continuous activities also. This is actually what we used when we tried to fit in all the requests that people who had joined the cooperative in the hopes that we would end up being able to rent it out in the city. They gave us wishes about what size of room more or less and which floor and so on. So we tried to put them all on the map. We pretty much managed to do that. This is the first floor of the ground level, so that's the main entrance. This is the other side that London has. This is the space that I mentioned as a shop. These are still not rented out, but prime space. We were negotiating about having a spa, and some activities. This restaurant, the huge kitchen here, this cafeteria of restaurant space is now rented out to one of the well-known chefs who's going to do this vegetarian plus game concept, and also this bread root spotted bread made by experts, or bring amateur bread users to share. So So yeah, we have there's a IT company here in that end, and then in the second level also Colab Bank, they have this renovating. So we have these two main or big kind of partners that we managed to include without too much sacrificing the wishes that the individual cooperative members have, because we can more or less with these two corporate partners we can cover most of the rental we have to pay to the city, almost all of it actually. So then we just have to gather from all these. And this is just the first floor, that's the second floor, and that's the third floor. So we have a lot of rooms and they're all rented out now. So I think there's maybe one of two or three still to decide. But with the money, we rented out 10 euros per square meter or a bit less. And we use that then to cover all the other expenses. We just signed the cleaning contract. So we got this on 1st of January, we got this place. Now all the rooms are now more or less filled up. So there's artists, cultural workers of all sorts, entrepreneurs. There's furniture company here, like salvaging old furniture and so on. All kinds of other activities. There's going to be a cafe space here also. There's this, here. There's a lounge area that opens up with the yard. Maybe, well, probably more than half of the space is like people's working rooms that they use for writing, they are working and so on. Many of these spaces also people or activities that people have, customers over. And then we'll have 2 restaurants, so the cafe and the restaurant is so we figure out something nice here, and then run over events and activities in the both front and so we do all the decision making and communications. We use this tool called Telegram, and some of you know it. So this is where all the communication is, all the people. There's 85 people on this channel now, so that's the kind of discussions going on here. That's the kind of
hilarious. I don't know if we're speaking to the whole world or what right now. What the heck? What the heck? Oh no!
What's happening?
Don't know, but we can hear each other.
Oh man, what happened?
Don't know. They were in the middle of a really good talk, and now I'm live. Oh,
No, but it says here, Pedro Simiano deactivated the sound. So it was Pedro.
But I think that I'm now broadcasting the live stream if I speak, or you and Tita. If any of us speak, we are
the only ones. Where is Simeon? What is he doing?
That's
Thomas,
the problem with explorers, you see.
Yeah, Thomas is saying he can hear us now. He can hear me and Tita.
He just wanted to mute the video for himself. And
No,
it
but
worked
he
for
muted
everyone.
everything. He muted everything.
Yeah, but now he took it off and it doesn't work. It's still the same.
We broke it!
Radical collaboration. Excellent.
Ah, shit.
Sugar. We're live, remember.
Shall we like switch off and then go back?
No, I don't think that will work.
Well, they're still broadcasting there. Why can't we?
Well, one of the members shouldn't be able to mute everyone else. It's weird.
Well, I did it just by trying to add an @ sign to an email, so there's some kind of shortcut in there.
Can you try, Nick? Nick, can you try to make
unmute?
it?
Yeah. Do it again. Okay, let's have a look. No, that's okay. I can mute you. What about this one? No.
What the heck?
Maybe because he's an admin or some sort of...
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. He says it's not me. It's my fault. Everybody watching from online, we were just listening to an incredible cooperative idea where they had a property for 10,000 euros a month. They are sharing between 100 people for, was it 10 euros a square meter? Very exciting stuff. and now you get to listen to us. All right.
I couldn't hear anything anyway. That's why. Maybe I couldn't understand the words. I just saw a big map
in
and I
Finnish,
could hear people
talking. Jakamo, space like.
There's no way to talk to Peter.
I already tried on Facebook, but I don't think he's.
How is it possible that I can mute
and not unmute?
And I can't unmute.
I
muted the world. Awesome.
The day I muted the world.
It's a huge bug.
I'm trying to talk with Pedro and Rika on Facebook to see if they can come and check.
Maybe we have to broadcast the live stream and get some really good feedback. I mean, like.
Can't we just join the Hangouts again and see if it works? Like, is there a link that we can? No, I hate Hangouts. I have to be honest. I do. I feel like I'm in a very uncomfortable.
Very
I don't know where to click. I don't know what to do. It's just weird.
We're all sending smiley faces to each other. Okay. Well, we can see what they're doing, but other than that, not hear it. There's no other controls here for me. Turn my camera off. Okay, no difference.
He's here. We have no sound.
What about now?
Yes.
Yes.
It's working.
How big is the space?
That one is, yeah, it's like 3 times. Then we actually don't have an idea yet what to do here. There's like this wooden house. There was both builders who wanted to do some kind of art concept thing, but negotiated with them. That's it for purposes. I don't have a picture of that. I don't know if you can see it. Yes. That's just outside. That's it. But yeah, there's still some spaces that we need to find out interesting uses for.
Yeah, anyone has a question to make, feel free. We call this a fireside chat exactly for that. It's not supposed for you just to be there in your presentation.
The idea with this concept is also to make this tilajakamo and something you can replicate in other places. So this is like a first experiment and something that you hope will be copied that sister organizations can set up easily see how we do it, maybe improve on it, and set up similar stuff in other use for spaces. It's a good way to kind of crowdfund to project this.
How you mentioned that, like you say, you have 1 year?
We still have a year and a half, so we had 2 years altogether.
Yeah, but then how you mentioned that you kind of do it? It's like just financial or like some social impact, environment? What they mentioned?
But the city wants like market price. Basically. They don't subsidize the rent for any social reasons. Like that. So we're basically paying price for.
So they are really have really good impact in society or doing some system.
Yeah, that's added bonus then. At least because the city works in silos, so we work with the Tilakeeskus, the part of the real estate department of the city, and they are just in charge of the buildings, and they're not interested in any other measurement than like square meters and euros. For example, where I'm working then in the citizen participation unit, that's where we're looking at how we can subsidize these citizen cooperative venues in different parts of the cities and stuff like that. So looking at completely different measures on something that's part of the city that you have to make these spaces
I was just going to ask, are you still looking for people to get involved in the actual Oslo school, or is it possible to get involved?
Yeah, we just opened it like 2 weeks ago, the registration. I think people can join the cooperative, but there's not basically that many rooms available anymore. But we can get in the cooperative. You can, of course, I mean, there's plenty of space to work if you don't need your own room. There's shared spaces and only corridors and so on. You can come and work there, of course.
That's interesting, because I went to see the other side of the hospital last September, maybe, and they weren't quite sure what was going to be happening, and so we talked, and I had some ideas for events. I organized some pretty big events, and I was looking for a venue for them, and we were talking with the side, but then we sort of put it on hold, and I didn't know this was progressing so quickly, so it's really cool to see that so much happened in such a short time.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it's quite exciting.
Yeah, so Jonas is not going to be able to stay very long, but he will probably talk further. Something we want to is to give you a little bit of hints of what we're doing with Colab. It has a lot to do with what we're doing there, especially with trying to open these projects to others. Others can learn with them and build on top of these ideas. And most of the time, what we actually want to do is that any of us can learn what they're doing, bring them, iterate, and then give it back. So others can learn with that, and even them will gain out of it. Things like how do they do governance decisions, for example, how they're using that type of communication channel to talk with each other, how do they organize the structure so others can also participate, how do they...
Yeah. Something that brings to mind that I forgot to mention is that we've been wanting to set up a local virtual currency, so if that, if anybody working on or interested in helping out socializing doing that.
Obviously, talk about it.
Well, they're more into the traditional banking. So, but we would like to kind of be able to share like local, kind of run a local economy to some extent. And because we're quite in a unique situation as the party who's collecting monthly rent. That we tell everybody, all the 100 people paying us monthly, that we can pay 10% of your monthly rent in this virtual currency, and that kind of gives value to the currency because they know that they can use it, they can use it as payment to their customers, peers. So we're quite in a unique situation to kind of fix that.
Anything else?
Yeah, I'll leave some parts here on the
Feel free to take in, then maybe organize a visit. Well, thank you a lot, Jonas. And thanks a lot. So we have Nina now from Mothership of Work. It's a workspace. It's the newest round. I guess it's pretty big. Everybody says cool things about it.
Yeah.
Has really big posters everywhere. And this is another way of doing the same kind of thing. This is basically creating the conditions for collaboration. These type of spaces are growing everywhere. For example, in Portugal, in the last 5 years, the co-workspace grew from 10 to more than 70. Barcelona only has one city has more than 70 spaces, just one city. The one that they call themselves courts, because other more informal spaces, which are actually courts as well, they don't show on the map. Here in Helsinki, you also see that. You've seen others coming in, going. You've seen an evolution in going in this. I think Mall, as one of the earliest, or the newest coming right now, have the experience from others doing it, the experience from others doing it in Helsinki, Finland, and that's what.
Cool.
Your presentation.
Oh, you have a laptop? Cool. Hi, I'm Nina, and my title is, in Finnish, it's tunnelmajohtaja. In English, we called it Vibe Director for a while before someone was like, that sounds like a dildo, so we no longer call it that. Currently, in English, it translates most easily into captain, I think, because it just covers the entire range of stuff that I do in our building. Please feel free to interrupt me at any point, or if you have any questions, because I start talking and then I start talking really fast and then it becomes a monologue, and then you just, interrupt me and be like, hey, explain that in more detail. I was going to start with showing you a short video so you can sort of get an idea of what the space looks like in actual fact. Unfortunately, it features me talking a lot, but just focus on what the space is like. It's also got subtitles. It's in Finnish, but it's subtitles. So.
This has sound, right?
Yes, it does. Or you could just mute it. It's just me talking, and you can just read the subtitles instead. Either way works. Yes, we've called it To Infinity and Beyond. We have a lot of pop culture references. That one's from Toy Story. Alright, thank you. Eli aina tapahtui kaikki meidän yhteistilaisuudessa, audiorata ja workshoppeja tai miten mä täytyy varmistaa, että äänen kanssa olla ison screen, että täytyy sitten olla feikkari ja hengaa kavereiden kanssa. Vaikka esimerkiksi sanottiin awkwardness. Sitten meillä on tosi verran leukkareita, missä on kiinnitetty designin erityishuomioon. Se löytyy Invagia, kalusteet löytyy arkkestiille, suomalaisesta kansainvälisesti, jokainen näyttää erilainen, joka on erittäin hieno. Mokissa on aika tästä kiirestä, ne on tosi joustava konsepti. Meidän esimerkiksi on mitä lopputuokkaa luokkalaisille, ja sitten meidän irtisanottilainen luokkareista kuukauden. Tässä on meidän muu baas, eli taidot on muista. Tässä järjestelmä meidän presidentti, tässä muun muassa evainnointi. Ja on hyvä palvelupakkaus kaikille meidän jäsenille. Eli kaikki palvelut lähtee pakkipalveluista, vakuutuspalveluihin, veroneuvontaan, kasvatetyrityksen, kansainvälisen palkkaamiseen ja tietenkin työllistään. Monille ehkä keskeisintä on se yhteisö, mikä meillä on täällä. Ja oikeastaan yhteisön nuorisokunnassa eivät vastata, mutta voidaan luoda sille erinomaiset edellytykset ja törmäiset mahdollisuudet. Ja ne on vielä sinne, jos onnekkaita meidän yhteisön tilaa, eli hyvät tyypit alkaa vaikka mitään sen yhteydessä, jos aloittaa siinä X-asukseesta, tai sitten ihan luokkelojen nettisimen kautta.
Great, so if you haven't been to Mo yet, or if you haven't seen the place, this is sort of what it looks like. In a nutshell, we've got about 6 floors, 2,200 square meters, and we can host about 300 people. So the space is pretty big. I think that's one of the things that makes us different from a lot of the co-working spaces in Helsinki, because we just have more physical space. And I guess the idea behind Mentorship of Work is actually that we're trying to create kind of a unique place in the sense that kind of functions as a similar to the idea of like a third place between your home and your office, somewhere where you can actually hang out, not just for working purposes, but we offer a lot of other stuff that's going on there as well. That's why the space has been designed with an eye towards facilitating collaboration. Like I said in the film just now, community is at the core of what we're doing at the Mothership of Work, and we try and facilitate that. We try and make it easy for people to come together, to engage in that community and to collaborate with each other. So yeah, so we have about 6 floors, 300 people. Our space is divided into different floors. Our first floor is a restaurant. It's called The Mess. It's separately run by this awesome dude called King Heini, who also runs South Park in Kofipuisto, or Block by Dylan in the center of town as well. So the second floor is, as you saw, it's actually just meeting rooms. We have 13 different meeting rooms catering to different kinds of meetings. So we have the sofas where you can actually have a meeting with the PlayStation if you want to, and spend time, napping if needed. We also have rocking chairs, and we also have like actual meeting rooms with chairs. You can have board meetings or whatever the more official part of the job might be. All of them are equipped with big screens and a sound system. So we're trying to facilitate also the idea of doing work, making it easy for you to do work, because obviously every time you go to a meeting, you're like, does my laptop have the correct plug-in, or do I have the adapter? How does the screen work? And we just sort of tried to take that into as simple an idea as possible. You just plug in and the screen comes on and the sound system works, and we have all the adapters for every single model and make a computer. We just found we actually had an adapter for a 2002 Windows computer, because our IT support, he has a treasure chest of stuff, and he's like, wait for it and I'll find it, and he often does, which is nice. And as you saw, the second floor also has our big event space. We call it the Mo Arena. And we usually have a lot of events happening there, ranging from stuff like morning yoga to pitching competitions to, we just had an insect cooking course 2 weeks ago, and we're going to have a cocktail course and a coffee tasting. We have a book club and a movie club, so we have a lot of stuff there that you can take part in, either before you start your workday or after your workday or in the middle of it. So you try and people are kind of the 9 to 5, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How you bring people to interact.
It's actually, like, a lot of it happens very organically because the space is designed in a way where there's a lot of open space. We have a lot of lounge space. We have a lot of sofa space. The kitchen, which also is the Mo Arena, it doubles as the kitchen. The kitchen is always the heart of the party. It's always where stuff is happening. So that sort of water cooler talk maybe happens in our kitchen area in general because we have a big screen and we also post all of our notices on that screen so people start to talk to each other when they get coffee or when they have like a shared lunch because a lot of people bring packed lunches but they sit together instead of like they're finished sort of sitting and yeah the events are a great thing. For example, morning yoga, which takes place at 7:30 on Thursday, which we thought was going to be like, I don't know if people are going to come to work that early. Lots and lots of people participate in morning yoga, and then they exchange stories about what kind of back pains they've had lately, or like how they're finding Ashtanga as opposed to Yin yoga. And yeah, something like cooking courses. I mean, food brings people together, so it's sort of facilitated really easily through that. Also, it's funny to see, as I'm sure you know, a lot of information goes through you as a host.
Yeah.
I basically, most of the time, I sit behind the big desk that you saw there with my partner, Johanna, who takes care of all of our admin stuff. And people come up and talk, and they're like, hey, so what's up? And they hang around with their coffee cup, and it's just sort of kind of a natural hub within a hub, either the kitchen or the front desk. So people start to engage in conversation, or they'll be like, well, I have this project, and I've been wondering whether I could find, and then other people will be like, you know what, I've been looking for this too.
Yeah, you try to connect.
Yeah, exactly. And it's sort of, it's an environment also where the members that we have actually wanted to come there because community and collaboration is one of their top 3 values, So they're sort of open-minded as well, which I think is cool because a lot of people have come from like office hotels, like hotels, where they're like, they've been sitting next to, for example, a programmer for 3 years that they've never known. And they would have needed that guy 3 years ago when they were designing their website, And they're like, that doesn't necessarily happen unless you have someone like, making those connections, pulling on those strings, and being like, have you met Sam, and bringing that sort of interaction to life, as it were. Yeah, so the events are a big thing.
And the members are free to join any event, or how is that? When did somebody rent the space?
Yeah, so we have different kinds of events. We have the sort of weekly sort of in-house events. And because we've been open for almost 2 months now, so we're sort of still trying stuff out. Most of our events at first were just for our members. Now we've opened them up to the rest of the community as well, so anyone can basically take part in our morning yoga by just hitting us up with an email. For our members, everything is free of charge, unless it's something super special like a cocktail tasting, where you might have to pay for materials used or something like that. And a lot of the events we organize ourselves, but we also have a lot of events that are organized by other people or other parties, other organizations. That we sort of have the general idea is that for Mo members, the events are free of charge or included in the membership. If we open the events up to other folks as well, then we might charge some sort of fee just to cover the costs. But we also want to be a platform not only for our own members, but to also be able to facilitate that collaboration with everyone else as well, because instead of like looking in solely, we just want to sort of, be a hub for others as well. Kind of similar to this place, I guess, in the sense that we don't want to pretend that we have all the knowledge that we need and all the smart kids on the block, and then just be like, okay, we're fine, and then shut our doors. So yeah, we want to partner up with other hubs as well. They've got a cool partnership with the folks from Oulu. I don't know if you guys have heard of Oulu. Really cool place. So anyone of our members, if and when they travel to Oulu, they can go work there, or the folks from Oulu can come work with us. And actually going to Estonia tomorrow to talk with the guys at Helsinki I Hub 48 to see if we can partner up with them. And we've got a partnership with one of the hubs in Riga at the moment, and so we're sort of branching out there to because why not, Yes. And I think also the sort of
outside of the bubble.
Yeah, outside of the bubble, and also we don't it'd be dumb in my mind, to see other hubs or other creative, conglomerates as a threat, because what the hell, 2016, we can learn from each other. There's no reason to sort of shut your doors on everyone. So yeah, we try and be really open as well. We also offer a lot of services to our members. We have this thing that we call, colloquially, we call it Yugoslavia, which is our service providers corner. So we have a corner office with a changing lineup of service providers. So each day of the week we have different gangs sitting in there. The services are based on the wishes of our community. So people have been wanting to have the services like banking services, for example, or accountancy, or print houses, or legal services. So we have a lineup of various outsourced folks providing their services for our members. And the idea is that instead of having to, wait on the phone listening to elevator music for 45 minutes before you can talk to a person, you can just walk into their office and be like, hi, so, tax issues, what's up with that? And you can have that conversation with a person instead of...
Like bus out.
Yeah, exactly. And that will set you back a dime. If you then decide to hire someone as your lawyer or get our accountancy guys to do your accounts, then that will cost you something. But we try and sort of maintain human contact.
Very important.
Yeah, because in a day and an age of sitting behind a screen, it's sort of nice to be able to be like, so this is my company, this is who I am, this is what I need, and have that person instead of that sort of even. Having said that, though, we also do have sort of the technological means to facilitate the collaboration as well. We have our own app, mobile app called Motherboard, which kind of functions as the technological counterpart to what I do. So it's a great means of staying in touch with the community. We have a community message board. You can ping other folks and you can be like, so I need someone to help me with Photoshop for half an hour because I need to send out a newsletter or whatever. And you can see whether there are people in the house with the skill set that you need for that particular task or that particular moment, and they can help you out. And so we have a lot of stuff that's sort of come through that as well. We have a lot of companies who need a social media professional. We have a couple of social media companies within the mothership, and they've started to forge partnerships through that kind of interaction that happens through our application. The app is also useful for our members to book all of the meeting rooms or order catering for the meeting room for the downstairs restaurant. Our catering is spectacular. We don't have any of those or those we have fruit platters and raw porridge or fresh pressed juice and stuff, which is pretty cool. It's a great reason to have a breakfast meeting. And you can also book our electric car through the app as well. We have one of those, which is for member use. But we're going to see how much people use it, and if it's available, then we're going to open that to Hawaii in general. So if you need a car to haul something from somewhere, it would probably be available. We also have 5. We were going to call them mosicles, but then we figured no one will know what they mean. But we have bicycles. We have 5. Yeah, we're like mobiles, mosicles, and people were like, no. So we're just calling them bicycles because that's what they are. So we have 5 Pelago bicycles that are free for all of our members to use. So if you want to have a meeting, bicycle. Yeah, exactly, which is awesome. Why not? Especially with weather like this, then you can do that too. We also have popcorn machines. It was weird when we were setting up the mothership of work. We had a focus group and we had this sort of community of professionals who were helping us figure out what we wanted to, what kind of services, what the experience would be like. And they were like, popcorn machines. Can't live without them. So we actually have 2 popcorn machines. And popcorn is included in the membership price. And it's been weird. Popcorn's been super popular. It's also a good snack, or a good lunch if you don't have time to eat. We're also thinking of partnering with a great service called Fruit Kit. I don't know if you guys know it. They deliver fresh fruit to your office. maybe like once a week. So today we actually got our first fruit platter or like fruit basket. And Monday morning, feels like Monday, today is Tuesday, but Monday morning start that off with a fruit platter would be pretty nice.
Yeah, that's like the best thing.
Right?
The brain works
Exactly.
fresh fruit and vitality.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a nice balance to the popcorn.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Or the afterward, the Friday. Yeah, we also have Friday afterward beers. Not every Friday because it might get out of hand. We're sort of seeing like what the sort of nice middle ground is.
Yeah, low week you can.
Yeah, yeah. We have we partnered with Study Bunnymo. We have two Mothership of Work beers, a lager and an IPA that we ordered them for our opening party a couple weeks back, but we had some leftovers, so we've got our own like afterwork beer now. That's another thing that we try and do a lot of, partner with small, cool Finnish brands, Finnish companies to see like what kind of partnerships we can forge. So in addition to studying Bunnymo or this fruit cake company, we have a partnership with a company called Swoop. I don't know if you guys know Swoop. They deliver coffee from various Finnish coffee micro roasteries. So we have different coffee each month, dark roast and light roast. We also have very good coffee machines because when I started work with the mothership about 6 months ago, they were like, so you need to order some sort of coffee machines, just like, I don't know, thermos, whatever. And I was like, no, we're going to have good coffee. And so we ordered pretty expensive, but really awesome coffee equipment. So it works like a reverse AeroPress. So it sort of burns the beans, and then it has like the first bloom when the water comes in to get all the taste out, and then it sort of sucks it out into a really nice cup of coffee, which has been a great source of joy to our community, and we've got a lot of positive feedback for that. And yeah, we also have really nice tea from Eekuana, which is yeah. Yeah. Because tea drinkers,
Yeah.
the sort of misrepresented, misunderstood group, it's always like that min fair or something. So yeah, we do that. We partner with local yoga schools or any kind of cool service providers that can add value to our community. So we're pretty open with that. This is all made possible by the fact that the Mothership of Work is funded by Skånda. I forgot to mention that.
This is my question.
Yeah. How does it happen?
Because,
Yeah.
What have been wondering? Who is that?
Yeah. Skånda, I don't know if you guys know Skånda. It's a big sort of like real estate company. They're known for renting out very big office spaces to very big companies. So I had literally very little idea of what they were doing before, just because that hasn't been my background. So I was like, okay, Skånda, and they are actually a really cool company, and they saw that there's a need for something different to what they've been doing so far. This was like maybe 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, and they were like, we should be able to cater for the small companies, for the project workers, for the startups, for the people that employ themselves, And they were like, okay, so what can we do? And they did some benchmarking around the world to see what was being done. And they were like, okay, how can we bring all this together? And that's how the concept of the Mothership of Work was born. They happened to have an empty house on Pieni Roba, which is where we're located. And the building was going to undergo some serious renovation. It was built in 1959. It's that really ugly building in the middle of two really nice looking buildings. People are like, oh, that one. We're just across the road from Gloria, if you guys know Gloria. And they're like, okay, so let's rethink the building. And so it was done, it was pretty cool because the actual architectural renovations or design was done hand in hand with the actual sort of interior design. And all of that was done with an idea of what the final space wanted to, or what we wanted the final outcome to be. So we could be like, okay, so we need silent workspaces, or we need different size meeting rooms, and we could identify the needs before actually doing the renovations. So that's why, so it works really nicely, and it wasn't like, okay, so this room we could maybe use for something, but we could actually go sort of design it first. And the outcome is pretty cool. We have lounge areas, we have silent workspaces, we have a super silent workspace where the idea is kind of similar to the the reading rooms at libraries, where if you rustle your pages too much, you'll have like 17 like really evil eyelids. Because I think it's also important that in a creative hub with a lot of stuff going on, you can also sort of retreat into your own little cocoon and get some work done. Especially if you're writing your PhD or a report on something. It's the worst thing ever when you've got too much happy people on a caffeine high hanging out.
Have some neighbors, Spanish neighbors have some issues with phone conversations.
Yeah. The startups are the worst. Yeah. The loudest by far. And the most awesome. Yeah, please.
I have to interrupt. I'm getting frustrated and desperate here because I came here for radical collaboration, but all the collaborations you and the predecessors of you have been talking about are the old style of collaboration, which has been done for centuries. So where is this? Because the radical collaboration I expect to hear about is something like Wikis, Wikipedia, or anything that is scalable and on the web and handles the massive collaboration.
What's your name?
Harry.
He's coming right now. Dana doesn't know about this as well. So I invited her. I invited also Jonas before. I think it's very good that we got them, both of them, because they're actually doing the same thing, but in different ways. And that's what I wanted to portray here with this. So Dina I didn't tell her talk about this. Tell her talk about your team and bring that to everybody here. The idea today is to create this type of space where hopefully some of you will want to continue and get this learning with each other about what all of us do in different ways. So today you already saw how Jonas work and how they work in trying to make that happen. Now, Min is telling a lot about what they've done and now they're trying to do other things. And most of these we actually don't know. It's very rarely we hear about how do they solve certain type of problems, how do they create conditions for this type of, especially highly collaborative projects like workspaces or collaborative spaces. But I'm going to talk to you also how you can actually use this type of ideas in other types of projects which are more normally used with more traditional ways of collaboration, like corporations, startups, small teams, like 2-3 people, and how can the way they work use these ideas? Okay? My idea also today is, hopefully with Jonas I'll have another conversation, but if Nina stays a little bit longer, is that they'll join us and they will share more of what they do and how they do. And if one of you want to use some of their ideas to your project and make them happen in different ways, for example, why do they do events? Why a space that lives from renting space does events? The idea, they don't want to make money out of events. They might make some, but the idea is to bring people into the space. So try to replicate that into your project. For example, Bilal as a magazine. How can you use events to actually make these more people know about his project? Or how can you create a community around these ideas? That's what I'm going to talk about now. If you want to grab another cup of coffee or tea or anything else, 5 minutes, then I'll continue. Okay?
And I'll just say one thing as well. We've only been open for just under 2 months, so we're still setting into place all of the sort of practices or the sort of customs that we're going to be focusing on at the mothership work. One of the things that we're going to be doing is we have so many really smart people underneath the same roof. We're going to have that sort of skill bank that people can then use for different projects. So we've got a launchpad program where various organizations or teams or NGOs or CSOs can apply to be sort of mentored and tutored and fostered by our community. So that's like one of the projects that we're going to be doing, which will then take into account all of our members so that we can together help make something awesome. But we've been open for under 2 months, and we currently have a staff of 1 person, so we're getting there. But any feedback you've got is really appreciated, or anyone else for that matter.
Nina will also leave her contacts there, so if you grab those, you can also.
Sure.
And then you can continue the conversation. We'll also, with you, try to create also a space for us to continue, because it's one of the things we Colab are trying to do is that these things happen, but don't stay here or don't stop here. That you want to continue this conversation. Some of you are just curious about these things. Some of you want to try something different. Some of you have something already and want to change that or make it better, and that's what we're trying to achieve here. So go there. Well, I'll change here, but.
All good here still?
Hi. Hi.
Can you still hear stuff here?
Hi, Nina. Nice to meet you too.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. If at any point you want to participate somehow, just write there at the event Facebook page. Okay, just a question. I'll be following it, and if I lose track of it, Tita or any of you can just send me a message on Messenger saying there's a question here for someone else. So, and then I might put you on the projector, your big face. Where is the horse?
Yeah, that's interesting. How far along are you with this? Or...
We're building.
Okay. Well, the application that we have, we're Colab.
Yeah.
But it's based on a pre-existing platform called Nexus, which is kind of like a hub for designed for co-working spaces. And then we currently fulfill all of our needs here, sort of it's not customizable in the sense that it would sort of be the ideal version for us. Right now,
I wonder if we should be talking.
so we don't have any other platform for that. We thought about doing something like Slack or Facebook.
The computer is broadcasting us.
Neither of them really keep it's the solution that we have right now is good for, it's kind of good for a lot of things, but we need it to be kind of excellent for everything, you know? So, whereas the booking works perfectly, the message board or the sort of chat function that we don't have, it just doesn't have all the functionality that we need at the moment, and at the moment we don't even need what all of the functionalities are that we do need because we've been open for such a short time. So actually we're having a kind of town hall meeting in the physical space in real life next week, in which we're sort of taking everything apart so far to see what it is that we need. We don't even really know at this point what it is. We're making it up as we go along. We didn't want to come in to sort of play with a grid for everything, pretend like we had all the answers. So we're actually very sort of community driven in that sense, waiting for the feedback from people who actually use it before making adjustments. It's private in the sense that there's a lot of stuff that's discussed as sort of members only. And we kind of want it to be a safe space for members to voice their concerns. But we're definitely going to write a memo about it, so I can make that public to you guys.
And also sometimes having the same that we've been open.
Yeah.
I think
always
having the member, because that's exactly the main reason, is that we need to feel safe.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you open everything.
Yeah.
Just you.
Yeah, it's true.
He was safe.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to just follow the people. And also, at some points, I will ask a lot of questions if I don't know. My neighbors know a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's boring for the other people.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need really cool, because I feel that I'm more of a member, or more part of it, might make me want to be.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, and we're definitely thinking of opening up the because even like I said, we don't want to just sort of look inside and be like we're happy with our group now. We don't need anyone else, you know. We want to try and yeah, exactly. We want to open it up to everyone. So we're definitely going to organize sort of kind of like paintings or hackathons or something where people can take part and try and maybe offer pre-existing solutions or maybe like help us figure out what would be best. I think we're going to start by identifying our needs and then seeing where we can go from there.
Yeah, I'm not sure at the moment.
Okay, so I'm going to try to not be too long. We're a little bit late on our schedule, but I'll try to take around 20 to half an hour just to tell you a little bit about Colab. Then I would like to start the discussion just about a few things that are more important to me. First is I hope you feel that you can be part of this and join in. The second is, can we think of continuing this meetup here in Helsinki, and hopefully a few of you will venture into that. And third is some of ideas that we already have here. I have a couple of ideas that have been told that they want to do here in Helsinki. They're amazing. Hopefully you can join them or bring your own ideas to it. You can also just propose, like Hillel proposed himself to talk about it to everybody, and so you know more about the project. Sometimes just the where you get into a place where you say, look, I have this idea, and you're standing in front of other people. You're committing to it. That's a very big step because it's where it starts everything. And then most of the time, making it, there's a really big gap, and that's where we fit. Okay, that's what we are trying to make here. So Colab is not really about ideas or creating more ideas. It's about making them happen. So, what is this radical collaboration? Harry is curious about it, and he wants to hear more about it. I hope you also feel there's something behind that we're actually sharing at this moment that's happening everywhere, and not everybody knows exactly what it is. We actually can't come up with another name for it. We talked about collaboration, everybody talks about collaboration, nothing new. It was invented by a prehistoric man. And what has been happening, we've been going through a as humans, changing collaboration to our needs. At some point, we were very communities that worked very well together because we needed them. Finland is a very good example of that because otherwise you wouldn't have survived. But at some point we lost it. At least that's my feeling. You might have another idea, but we lost it because we, for example, in Portugal, companies with a complete top-down structure, you know, that type of the boss tells you what to do type of company, call their workers collaborators. That's very strange to me. You know, I've been a collaborator from some of those companies, and I was not. Okay, so basically, we say there's 3 points in this radical collaboration. One thing is about we have, if we want to be able to have more people participating, we have to let them. The only way to do that is by opening our ideas. So opening not just our ideas, not just putting them out there, but also like how do we make them happen? Also enabling or creating the ways people can join in, can participate, either by having a website with that information, either by creating events, either by transforming and changing. Of course, this is going to another level, your structure, the way you work. You have examples of this everywhere right now, mostly because of the internet, where we see where it's easier to get that information, where we start to see that this is actually not a new idea. Mostly, for me, the great examples are about open source programming, where you have software being made by thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of people, and they actually don't belong anywhere. They're not part of any structure. They're not answering to anyone's telling them what to do. Okay? But they just go, they find something that they want to be part of, they know they can fix some part of that, they grab it, they fix it, put it back. Okay? This is the most common example here. But we've heard and we hear now about other examples that started in the 50s, in the 70s, and doing much more radical ideas than this. One of the examples we have is Semco, which is a company from Brazil. They do everything from engines for ships to air conditioning for giant skyscrapers, stuff like that. But the thing is, at some point, the son of the owner became the CEO, and at some point he got so, he said, it's his words, he said, he sucked so badly at being a CEO that he said he had to end his own job. So the CEO, Semco exists today without CEO, without board of directors, and they have, I don't know, right now, probably more than 10,000 workers all around the world, and some of the biggest companies in Brazil. They also have a school system that they created based on their ideas. And the Ricardo Semler, if you search it, it's pretty amazing what they've done. He wrote 2 books. One is called The Maverick, which basically tells the story about this. The other is called The 3-Day Week, and they're about that. It's called 3-Day. I'll search afterward. But this is Maverick is the one you want to read. You've heard maybe about Zappos, the company that sells sportswear in the US, where they actually distribute, they're using sociocracy. I don't know if you ever heard about this as a way of organizing their structure. We've heard about Patagonia as the brand that does these clothes, mountain wear and sportswear. It's an amazing company as well to look for. But these companies have been doing this from 50s, 60s, 70s. It's nothing new. what we're doing now is like we now know about them. Because before, to hear about them, you actually either be in Brazil and work for Semco, or in the US and work for Zappos. Right now, you actually get access to this information, and companies are starting to understand that it's not about sharing their or opening their ideas that's going to be the one thing that other people will steal. And the reason is because it's not about the idea, it's about how to make them. Making the idea happen is hard part. You know? So if you tell me, Aine has this idea of inventing here, butterflies in Helsinki, and I thought about it like, wow, it's an amazing idea. She shouldn't be worried about me taking that idea and doing it myself. Okay. She should be actually wanting to share so I can give her ideas, maybe join her in doing that, and instead we learn together. Or at some point I just, well, okay, this is so much work, you're so brave in doing it, I might help or not, but this is where I leave you to continue. So WoW is not doing anything new, it's a core space, but they are learning a lot from what has happened before. So the other thing that we know that is very important, and this is what is new. This is how, because of our evolution as humans and the way we work, the way we interact with others, has become about being autonomous, not being independent. What does this mean is that we suck at depending on others, and depending on others in other ways. It's not about friendship or love or anything like that, where still we all need that, but it's about only when the boss says I can do something. Access to information is a big deal. Like, what do I know about the place or the thing that I work on, so I can already contribute to it or participate in it. And this is the biggest difference. This is where it's the hardest part to make. Because this might mean that you can't be the boss anymore. This might mean that the person that actually makes the most work might not be the one who's profiting the most. Okay? And this is being told now, like if when you start hearing about giving payments for everybody the same, so everybody can choose what they will do in life, either create their own job, work for probably a bit more money, study, whatever, and this is called in English. You don't know what I'm talking about. So instead of you get universal, but so they're talking about something like 800 something euros. Everybody sits in computer would get that, and then from there work whatever you want to do. And this means that the big deal about, around this is that, yeah, but that means that some people want to have. That means that some people might not work at all and still get to know. That's one of the biggest concerns. Actually, that's how it is right now. Because people will choose what they want to do. You can't really make anybody do anything else. We are changing into a point where actually all of us feel that we prefer to be poor than working for others, than doing things that we don't like. And that's maybe the biggest change in humans since hundreds of years. And that's why at some point, some of the, I was telling today to Harry, he was asking me about, bringing people to become more entrepreneurial, teaching people how to do certain things like this. And the thing is, maybe not everybody wants to be entrepreneurial. We all have a part in this. All of us have experiences, all of us have characteristics, and they're very different, very needed. You know, from introverts, like I don't know, famous it is introvert or extroverts like Nina, and this type of people working together, you know, they can bring amazing stuff. They can make an amazing superpower to create ideas, make ideas happen. And what we actually believe is that if we let people participate, create the conditions for people to participate, and if you give autonomy for people to be part in any project, we can bring collaboration to the next level. This is what we call radical collaboration. It's happening everywhere, and maybe in lower levels, higher levels, from hippie projects to hipster projects, from startups to big corporations. And the idea with Colab is that we want to bring these people together into a platform. And this platform is not, you hear platform, you imagine a website. We want to have that also, but we want to do events, and we're doing events. We want to create a place to have this information so others can learn with each other. Or, for example, where can we go and see how Mo works? Where can we see what Jonas and the rest of the team is doing to make that thing happen? And what can we, for example, see what Bilal has done as an entrepreneur, a foreign entrepreneur in another country? How did he make it happen? What can I learn from him? And also, how can he participate there? How Nina can participate and help him? And sometimes just give him contacts or sending him in the right direction. And other times, really, look, this is so cool. I like fashion. I want to be part of that.
Sorry.
You have to go. Okay,
yeah, sorry, it's my next meeting.
I'll continue.
Thank you so much.
With you. Can you leave your?
Don't have a card with me. Nina, I wrote an F. I'll write it down here. Please contact me with anything.
Sure. So the idea here is that what we actually want to make is that you open the way you work in such a radical way that everybody can be part of it. And that's what we've been doing as an experiment these last 3 years. Actually, Colab started as an idea here in Helsinki, in the hub impact then, which is nowadays kind of a team. It's kind of like a transformation, but used to be a hub impact here nearby company. And we started there with an event. It was a 24-hour event where we actually talked with projects all around the world. We capture ideas, and from those ideas, the biggest idea that came was, how can we better use this amazing resource that it is the people around us? You know, the people that all these skills that we have, all these characteristics, how can we do this in a better way? As most of the time, people would talk also, what does it lack? What does your project lack? And people would tell funding. They would tell whatever resource, I need a space, I need this or like that. And very few would say, look, I need to work better with other people. My team sucks. Or I suck, you know. I'm the owner of this company and I can't make it work. So how could we actually transform that into a movement and make people think that actually this is the way to go to the next level? And the idea what we felt is, we need to learn how this is done. And that's what we've been doing. The second is finding those who are doing a good job. Finding those who are actually doing this. Harry said about Wikipedia. Wikipedia is a great example as well. There are much more complex examples than we can get on to. We actually feel with our experience, and this I'm talking about a group of people that have been doing this for a couple of years, is that there's a commitment here between wanting to be really open and make it work. Okay, And to make it work, sometimes these open source projects are actually pretty complex structure with a lot of rules. Jonas made an example there. So here is where we talk. There's this channel in this tool. I don't remember the name. Sorry? Telegram. And in this Telegram tool, we have channels, and then we have this channel where only 7 people participate. Okay, so you see, the commitment here is that can we open all this to the other 187 people and participate? Can we make it work? Or we make a commitment here and then we have this closed and then we write a memo to the others about what we've talked about. But the problem with this is that you won't be able to participate. Okay? Another example was, Nina was talking about how we're organizing a town hall event, and Dharma asked, can I go? And so, not really, because there's reasons, there's good reasons behind this. Like, we want to create a safe space for the members to participate in. When it's completely open, it becomes harder. So how can we do actually the opposite? So what do we need to solve so others can participate and it's still a safe place for us? Okay. So what we've done is we went to Portugal, which I lived most of my life, sure. Yeah. And what we've done is we didn't know what we were going to do. We got there, and they had this amazing space. They were just renewing, and they heard we were coming, saw some magazine. Yeah.
And I just interrupt you as a follow. After this event, you have great space, basically. Good space before you find
space. The silo space. Yeah. Just to connect. Yeah.
Connect. Yeah.
Yeah. From that event, then we started a discussion group online, and that's where I was telling about those ideas. Started from this group. A couple of people got together. Let's do this thing. Yeah, but a couple of people.
Yeah.
Really went to the ground it was hundreds of people from we got into 59 different countries at some point. We did events in some cities around Europe, some of them online with participation from all around the world. And then we got this crazy idea, let's do it. We were inspired by the startup movement and we wanted to do something cool. We got to Portugal, we got this invitation, they showed us this amazing space, and they said like, so what would you do with this? And we started kind of like hitting each other like, this is really cool idea. Our initial idea was to create a platform for collaboration. So mostly an online platform for collaboration. People would create projects together and be able to participate in each other's in a more simpler way or effective way. And at some point, we imagined when we were dreaming, in 5 years, because of this court space movement, we actually could have either spaces that would join us or create our own spaces where people from the platform would be living in real life. And we saw there an opportunity to do this actually before. And we thought, even though it would change our plans, we could actually learn a lot of it. And that's what we done. We learned a lot of it. Okay? First thing we learned is much harder than we expected. It's much harder to do any of this. Of course, we can say this, and I'm not lying when I'm saying this was way more fun done this way than any other way. And I can't ever lie to you and say, but this is so much better and easier than going to traditional collaboration. It is not. One thing we know for sure is much more fair. That there's no way of you telling us that it's not. Second thing is the impact you do in the people that participate in the things this way, and in the community where you actually do these things, it's much bigger than any other way. And you know, there's amazing workspaces. Mo can become one of them. Maybe it is already. I don't know much about the project. I've heard about others. There's impact hubs all around the world. Some examples that are amazing. We're actually planning to go to Birmingham in June to visit one of the most interesting ones. There's in the US and all around the world. Portugal has some examples that are amazing as well. And but the thing is, the moment they go away, what stays is the projects. The projects is the thing that actually stays and changes community, changes the people, and like that's how we thought. So instead of opening, instead of opening a space as a business model where you could create conditions by renting space or getting free Wi-Fi and cool beer events on Fridays, we thought that our project would be about creating a space where actually the users are the organizers. Think Company, I think, is very near that, even though it has boards, it has CEOs and CFOs and stuff like that. There's a university behind, there's a city behind. It's actually a pretty complex structure. Espaço O, which is in Portugal, which will be the O space. It's O because of Óbidos, which is this small, tiny town in Portugal. Like there's there's 90 people there.
How many?
In the castle, inside the castle, there's 90 people. But the town in itself has around 3,000 people, and the council around 10,000 people, which is a very big council. And the nearby, two nearest cities, one is around 6 kilometers away from, and the other is 15 kilometers, have their own lives, and they're not very collaborative. You might have heard this in your own, like, I'll show you a little bit of what's happening in real space. So what happens here is it's not depending on us. We don't know exactly what's going on DealSpace because you might today go cook there. Others will have yoga. Others will have painting classes. Others have English classes. Others are doing a startup. Others are creating a new cake. Others are starting a new restaurant in the oven house we have there. And this is what is interesting here is that all of this is happening in a way that nobody is really taking care of this in a traditional way. So basically, at the point you join in, you'll have you're part of the board. What we say is that there's no crew. There's no crew. Everybody's a crew. There's no people that go inside the boat and our audience. You pay ticket. You are a passenger. There's no passengers. And so we've done a few cool things there. And basically, the most important thing we've done is create the possibilities of others to use the space and grow their own ideas and build their own ideas. And from ceramics academies to design thinking groups to bakery tapas place to flower shops to artisan markets and also a lot of artisans in the space. We also have a bookshop, which is part of an initiative from the city to become the library.
Yeah. Because as a visitor.
Yeah.
And I have seen that it has, so this castle place, I have visited before during this medieval fair, which attracts people from Europe. And this is an old. Yeah, no, it's not that. It's already an old festival, so a new festival. But besides that, could be some exhibitions happening there. But besides that, there was not that much happening, except in summer. It's probably a place where people go there and finish their drink in the bars. And otherwise, it's a bit considered like a completely countryside because it's originally a place. But I've seen that it has been happening a lot of other things, like now there's some chocolates.
Chocolate festival.
Were you involved with that? There's also stuff happening more often. They Colab make also there has been also some literature event. Did Colab in a sense also make any collaboration in the sense that the other cultural organizers have been make more things happening?
Well, I think
like for example, this thing.
All these festivals are before Colab. They're not new. These things for tens of years.
Yeah.
They're very famous. We participated in a lot of them, but as participants who were not part of the organization or any kind. I feel personally that we had some effects in some of those things, mostly how people perceive how things are done, how the city organizes these things, and how the city can how can they use the people, the community, as actually organizers. They have tried harder because of that, especially with the new event. This literature event is very big. It's coming in September again, the UNESCO's festivals. They are using more and more community and trying to learn how they can use it. They're very still in infancy. It's very hard still. They're basically telling what people can do, not really letting others go in. But when we create, the idea is not to become that. It's not to become some kind of organization that does that type of stuff. We're actually, what we want is that anyone that participates, that anyone that uses Colab, feels that they can participate.
Yeah.
Any person, because of having the tools, because of having the information, because of having the knowledge, suddenly feels that they actually can do this stuff. And one of the examples I want to tell you about, this is a great example, but I want to tell you is more interesting one is this. So we had this embroidery association in Aviv. It's a very old thing. It's something that is from that started with the Queen. This Queen, so if you're in art, this Josefa Diaby is one very famous painter, and she had made a painting in the ceiling of a church, which then became an inspiration to this embroidery that is done in Aviv. And this association was completely going apart. It was part of the museum. They're not really doing anything new, and people don't buy embroidery anymore for a long, long time. And when they started participating in Colab and in Spaswa, they become part of it. And what they've done is, when they arrived, there were these 6 to 10 people, very unmotivated. They were feeling, basically the answer was to anything you do, like it's too hard. I don't want to. It's not possible.
this very emotional reaction to everything was like, I don't think he will like, I don't think she will like, I don't think the president will like, and these type of things. And by giving them a little bit of information, by giving them other experiences and basically giving them the tools to make it happen, they suddenly thought that actually it could be possible to do something new. And these same people that were in this very shadowy corner on some city space with dusty windows and museum pieces of embroidery, organized in the period of 1 month one of the biggest events in Óbidos, where they invited 5,000 people from the community. And this is not people coming from Europe. This is not people coming to marketed advertisements on TV. This is not people that were paid to come. These people from there. Okay, so 5,000 people were never, ever was an event with that amount of participation. The other event in Óbidos that has that type of participation is the Medieval Festival, because they actually opened it for the associations to do everything, and they get the money. Whatever they sell there, they get the money for the associations, the community associations. And this is people that they don't know what is internet. They called us, and this is the real name, us that work in Passport, the aliens, the ETs actually, the ETs, because when they feel is that we don't talk the same language, and suddenly because of a few things. First is they got into internet. First, we created an open Facebook group, and we got in, and they could at least hear us or read us talking about the things. So they could start to follow about those things. Another thing is the meetups we do. In this type of events, it's very important for people to have a moment to share, to make questions and stuff. So we do this weekly. We used to call them meetups. We changed them to team meetings because then they became project-based events. And this has made such a change that they could, as a group of 6, make an event with 5,000 people, which showed on TV, and has changed the way they look into their own projects and the way they do. So this is a good example to give you as a way of using the same things we do for other types of projects to create something else. I can give you examples of
yeah. Just for the members, or everybody from the community just join and have a project in mind and bring that share.
Yeah, that's what I told in the beginning. It says Passport doesn't really have members in the same way as you see normal associations having. You actually have, the idea is that members or residents in the space open the space for anyone else to join. So if you're like in Tea Company, anybody of you can use this space. Yay, there is this. Also, if you at any moment want to organize or do your own project there, you can just join in. The change or the difference between that or anything like this or involved is that you suddenly become part of the organization. So you have to do stuff like cleaning space. You have to do stuff like hosting space. We don't have hosts, so everybody's a host. And this changes this changes everything. So
responsible for this space.
Yeah, it's not just the responsibility. It's also you have to do this type of stuff. We have a project right now in the south which is replicating what we've done in space. We've had a few tens of other projects. Of course, this festival became very famous, and so people wanted to do the same thing. And we have around Europe a few other projects that are looking and taking ideas from there and using a lot of our ideas because they've always been open. And I'll show you a little bit how we've done that. But we also have stuff like
a book on running is done the same way. Brands for ecological products made of reusing plastics and other materials. A cake that has become one of the main products in Ovidus, as it was famous for centuries with the cherry liquor. It's very famous from there. But for many years, they didn't really have a new product that was called like, this is the product from Ovidus, and we actually created that. It's called Cooking and Ovidus, basically a dry cake. It's very good. Clothing brands made of more ecological and more concerned about sustainability, stuff like that. Software like this, in this case, is booking organizer software. So you can see that we're not talking about the same type of project. If we create the conditions for us to share and learn with each other, so we're actually going to use this to build our own ideas. We're going to be able to launch better ideas every time, because you won't start from scratch. You won't need to learn. You'll be able to more easily get like people to participate. You'll be able to get at the base of it very easy. That's how we see Colab. Right now, what we're doing, and we've been doing for a while, is this Facebook group where we have the members. And basically here we talk about our projects and how we organize them. And we organize each of the projects as an event. And in each of these projects, everything flows. One of them that I can show you is, for example, this event. This event is what you've seen. You RSVP to yes, I'm interested in it. But you also have a project about it, where I organize basically all of this, and we have had participation from others saying, I like this, or writing the description for the event, or helping with the design of how it looks, suggesting the space, and and also this actually started as an experience for me. Like, how could I do the same thing we do in Colab completely publicly? We started in a post. And made a post. How do I do this in Helsinki? What is it? So people came in and just about this. And that's where I started, go back to where I started. I said, people will participate in Colab. You have to create conditions. They will continue if they see there's value in their contribution. That's the hard part. That's the only thing we see. We have tools for that. We have like shared ownership. Okay? So I want to start a project with you. How do I make you more interested? First, the idea. Do you like this idea? You say yes. 50-50. That's simple. Okay. Now we're both owners. Shared ownership at this point is very easy to put small. What if it becomes more complex? I was telling today about this project that we're asking. This is how it works. And I was telling, we're not inventing anything. And one of the biggest examples that exists right now is the last example I'll give today. It's called People Supermarkets. It exists in the UK. Started as one supermarket, now it's a chain with hundreds of supermarkets all around the UK. And basically it started as a cooperative where everybody was owner of the supermarket. They solved one of the problems that I've been talking about, that it has been one of my biggest problems in working anywhere. And I've worked in a supermarket. My biggest problem was that every day I did the same thing. And every day I started at 8. All the 8 hours that I was there doing the same thing. Putting stuff in shelves, cleaning, and not much more. Okay? Sometimes I had ideas to do things that I couldn't tell to anyone. I wanted to sometimes just do other things.
you can't do that. It's too hard to organize things like that. So what they do is, first they just, since you're owner, today you're cleaning, tomorrow you're doing accounting, next day you're cashier, and you rotate. Everybody rotates into all the tasks. So this is a really cool way of at least not being so bored in work. The other thing is, by being everybody owner, everybody wants to be shining on my and where what they've done with that is like by everybody being owner, everybody stayed as long as they needed and all that. But as it became more complex, you have 6 people, everybody's owner. You're working 2 years, and now gets one new person. We need one new person. This person becomes an owner immediately or not. So they also actually they learned about something cool. They made something cool, which is people would get a wage for 6 months, for 1 year. And during that year, they would work to become a owner. After 1 year, they would get part ownership and part wage. And by the end of the 2nd year, they would decide, I become full-time owner or go away. And nobody would continue more than 2 years as a wage worker. This has made, they suddenly made it more fair for the ones who were already participating, for the ones, and this is really cool ideas for us to use. Think of a startup doing like this. It would be amazing, you know? Like Bilal and I started the startup. We go 10 years trying to make it work. Now 10 years we make it work. Get funding, and we're doing well. We get wage. We have to hire more people. But if we hire people, at that moment we become boss and becomes a problem. But then we actually could do things, do the same as People's Supermarket has done. And what if all we had was a platform where all of us could share these ideas, build on top of those, you know, share links, organize these things, have events, make notes, documentation, share back, build on top. You tomorrow could make a comment. This comment could become part of the documentation. Another person would. And this is what we're trying to actually achieve at this stage. What we want to do right now is create this platform online, maybe basically mimic what we've done with this experiment with the Facebook page. And with all this we learned about interaction online, plus the interaction in real time with the projects, how could we make them more easily accessible, that we could just join any idea at any point, contribute to any of these projects, and have that as a point. So this platform, which is part an online website, which is part this type of events that are happening in many different cities. There's ideas for creating like a task force that would go like Dharma says, hey, I'm quite inspired, I want to do this one project, I need some help to start up, and when we could go into the platform, say that I have this idea, I need help. 4 or 5 people would get together and would find maybe the funding to help Dharma start it out. Like a lot of people went from Ovidus to Lagos to help Lagos start the project. Lagos went to Ovid several times to help with the projects. Other are just, and sometimes the participation can be as big, and this is a big deal, as Nick hearing about the project and just connecting with someone who is really interesting, which could transform your project, or someone working side by side with you to make it happen. This type of contribution needs to be seen as balanced as well. That's what we're trying to do. The idea for us right now is that basically is you who join us and start this as well here in Helsinki. Right now, start with discussions, with ideas, with sharing how you could do. We're also at the stage where we're actually building the platform, so having your feedback and your use of it is very important. Where you could actually, we're going to do all the process open, so you'll be able to see that this is happening. We're building this way. We're designing this part. We're discussing even how we call things. Things as specific sometimes as grammar errors. What word in English is more important? It gives says the thing that we want to say. Like, should we call them projects or not? Is it project or not? These type of discussions are really important, and all of us can be part of it. It's always going to be an open source project, so anybody can go and get stuff from there and use it in their own ways and make money out of it, like with every open source project. The idea is that when you do it, you also contribute to make it better. And in the future, what we see is, and it's happening already, but of course we want to do this at a larger scale, is that you will create your own project that we will gain out of Colab. It can be like, okay, I became an expert in collaboration. I want to start a training program around collaboration. And I can use Colab as a brand to say, look, I train whatever corporation needs to change. This is actually happening already. You'll be able to just use the platform for your own effects, where you actually make your projects evolve maybe faster. You'll maybe just use it as a platform for communication because you don't know other or the others suck. And you'll see others like, how did they organize this? How can I look at Jaime and Pedro did this event? What can I get from there? Hey, this is a good idea. I can use it for myself as well. And then I used it, go back there and say, I used it, had these effects, and actually I changed this little bit, which had a bigger effect. And we can, okay, we'll use it. Yeah, that's that. This is what we're trying to do. Hopefully you'll join. If you have any questions now, anything you want to bring into the conversation, Bilal will have a few minutes to talk about these ideas doing right now. And by the end of today, hopefully a few of you will say, like, we want to do the next meetup number 2 in a month or something like that. Okay. Thank you so much for coming. And there's still people online, like 5 people, 6 people, and a few viewers. And I'll check the net. And that's it. Thank you so much for coming. Can I go now?
Let's hear from the people if they have questions.
Do you have any questions? Anything to ask? Besides drawings? How do you feel? This is something you're looking for? Harry, does this gives you more information about radical collaboration? Are you expecting this or something else?
Well, I kind of with the scalability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You mean how can this grow?
Or how do you have a wiki, for example?
Yeah. So the way we do right now is works as a wiki, but we do it in a Facebook group. Okay. And we're building the type of wiki right now, this platform, because what we see from wiki software, it's not for everyone. And any of you have used, who here have used the wiki software? 2. If I put my mom there, she won't participate. She doesn't know what to do.
Another question, that who here have used Google Docs? You have used the wiki. That's a wiki.
This is a different thing. Wiki software is not a Google Doc. Google Docs is part of it, but you need actually the discussion part together with the wiki, with the docs to make a wiki. That's what we do. Well, you have a chat. You don't have discussion. It's different thing. Yeah. So wiki has discussion. Discussion is more like a forum. You have a theme, the topic, people discuss the topic, and then from that you draw other things you like. Google Docs, for example, they are They can be part of it, but they can't be a wiki by itself. Unless you have one Google Doc, which is your wiki. That maybe it's near that. But group on Facebook lets other people participate. Like we have the youngest member is 11-year-old. The oldest is 79. Okay, my mom.
Oh.
Okay, and this is very different from many other open source projects you might see. Okay, so wiki is software like Wikipedia. You participate in Wikipedia. Did you ever write there? So how do you feel about it? Is it simple for you? How easy it is to do that job, to become a writer in Wikipedia?
It has improved, but unfortunately there is no real-time discussion.
That's one of the things. Other is the process of getting in is so hard. The learning curve to participate in Wikipedia is so hard. It's actually impossible it becomes impossible for many people to be part of it. And that's what we actually wanted to solve with Facebook, and we did. It sucks in many things. You know, it's social. You go there for work and you're like completely. There's notifications about cats and cakes and beer and stuff. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. But as change. What hands don't work anymore. Yeah, it's become a big thing. We're actually going to mimic. We're actually going to mimic what we've learned with Facebook into the new platform, so to solve a lot of those issues. I can, for example, show you here Google Doc that we're discussing. For example, manifesto. And you get 1 million things added here for many people in the discussion here that goes from point to point. Google Docs has become a really amazing tool for that. But again, not everybody uses it. I can have maybe all of you here participating in one, but if I add the lady downstairs, she wants Google Docs, the APs are making me go to the internet to do weird stuff. Now if we could design something that she could actually understand, that the words mean something, like GitHub, you know, how hard it is to use GitHub, stuff like that. How can we actually be kind of like a layer between that and anything else? How could we actually use the tools that a lot of the amazing companies are using that make it more friendly and usable?
Do you have a prototype?
We have. We started working on it a couple of months. There we've been going back and forth about the process. Then we stopped because we were doing it for. What we were doing is we're doing inside Colab. By doing it inside Colab, you have a percentage of the members, which are now about 200 people, participating. People will feel free. But when we had a few months ago decided that we have to go with Colab to another level, this is part of it, it's maybe the first event we're having in this direction, is that we want to open this a lot more public. So everybody, even if they have no connection with Colab whatsoever, will be able to see a lot of the stuff that is happening. We'll be able to go to GitHub and get the posts about the platform. You'll be able to see the roadmap, the timeline of development. You'll be able to see texts like this. And then to interact with this, you'll just need to join this. But to be part of it, you'll contribute. How do I join? Maybe a form or something like that. You'll get in and then start immediately participating. Make this process really simple. That's the goal. There's a lot of sketches, a lot of mock-ups, and I've been brought to reason from some people like, we can't do this alone. We have to actually bring it together. The next months that we're going to do, that's where you actually come in. That's where we're going to this next level, next stage in Colab. And we don't want to use anymore the Facebook group, because we want to go to another channel that will be more, we can be more focused on.
It seems to me that it's some opportunity for many people with creative thoughts to feed off each other, and the possibility to introduction of new people or new collaboration. But I'm a little bit concerned about is there any guideline to keep people focused, to accomplish something? Because it happens a lot with the creative minds put together that a lot of new ideas emerge, but nothing's done.
Yeah. Well, if you remember what I said before, Colab is exactly that. It has started as my geekness about productivity. And a little bit about that because, I'm really lazy, disorganized, and so to cope with those things, I had to go extra. I had to become very organized. And still is. And this has become part of Colab because of what I believed in and I brought it there. And that's what we design and the way we do, for example, here you go to Facebook group. We organize the events as projects. So you would have this project, which is a flower shop. And this flower shop will have some information. This is in Portuguese, so some of you won't understand. We actually have a lot of people who understand Portuguese today here. We already gave a framework for the project. They say what is important to have to make this work, And this is what we call the tools, the toolkit in Colab. So any of you, if you want to imagine Colab as an operating system for your project, you're actually every time start with a framework for your project, and then you install tools. One tool could be a Meetup. Your own project could have your own Meetup. Bilal's project could have a Meetup for the magazine, where could he brought these readers together and discuss ideas for the. So you would say, yeah, Margaret, I'm doing this with Colab. I'm installing Meetup here. I go learn, maybe document it somewhere, which we have saying, how do you organize a Meetup to get more effect? So go watch this video. I've watched this amazing Meetup that was being done and is being very successful. Talk with this person that is doing Meetups for very long and is doing really well. And you grab that, make your own, and then change it. And say like, oh, I tried with snacks. Actually, in Finland doesn't work. People want to do that. It's not true. It's just an example. But I could go now and say that, like, if you want to do it in Finland, maybe change this. Someone has asked me directly, not me, Keisha, will I be made to interact? will they make me go there and talk? It's like, and I've learned that maybe we should say that nobody will be made. And maybe some people didn't come today because they thought, oh, boy, the hippies got together in a circle and they will be made every time everybody say something. And this is very important information. But then it's just mine. If I go now to the doc, you want to organize a Meetup, you go get that, and then organize it. So here, for example, you have our frameworks start with the purpose, basically what you want to do. The team, this has changed, but by now it's just as an example. We have 3 roles in the team, which is a project leader, project manager, and part communication. Leader is just, we call it now the project starter. It's just one idea, wants to make it happen. The manager is responsible. That's the things about tasks and timelines and stuff is happening. And communication, which is a very important part in projects, which is very many times forgotten, is that you need to all the time feed information to people to be part of it. Who else is contributing to the project in whatever they're doing in the project? The profits, the proposed profits, which is, hey, I'm starting this project, and I'll bake you a cake if you help.
So this needs to be from the beginning set, so you know if you want to participate what you'll get out of it. I'll say like, I'll share ownership, equal parts. Okay, so you know immediately this needs to be set. Then you have just a few guidelines, mostly because of the Facebook events, where we say we respond with going if we're interested in participating in the project. We say maybe we just want to follow the development and not going to don't get notifications of this event. And then those discussion here we create the image for the project. Other people from other projects that have nothing to do with this just give ideas and feedback. Just because they can, just because they like the idea. And if you're not letting that happen, how much are you losing? Because like the other day, we got someone going through all our docs and see every grammar mistake done there. And you know why she did that? Because that's what she does for a living, and she loves it. She was like so excited. I'm not sure if I'm helping, but this and this and this and this and this, and we're like, thanks. And how much does that cost? Can you imagine? And why is she doing that? It's because whatever she's contributing to will help her. For us, having this done will mean that our projects can feed out of this. Every time you write something and you learn, oh, I made this party and I got so successful of it because I got this 3 or 4 new contents. I did, I learned about this new tool for Telegram for team communication. And I made a video showing how we do it. I posted it. Now we learn all of it and we can do. Maybe we can ask Jonas how they do it. And it starts and with projects don't really have an end. When we found this at the beginning, we were kind of like, start today, 3 months is done. But what people have started to do is that they can't let go of the project because nothing ends. Now it's continuing development, and in that way, people feel that this is the tool that they use to keep their project together. Where is things? Where are the things? Where are the discussions? Where can I find the people? Where can I interact with others that stays in one place? Okay. And suddenly, we've learned that discussion is the base of everything. So today you see in the last few years you get Slack growing like crazy. It's the app that everybody started using. And you know that today you don't use Facebook anymore. You use Messenger. Why do you use Messenger? Why is Snapchat? What other chats from apps? That's the giant company. What is happening is that actually we're interacting by writing with each other. This is a big deal. We learned that here as well. We learned that people don't like to send you a task. They like to talk about the task. Could anybody help in designing me a new logo? And then you go, oh, what do you want? And it starts there and then ends in the task. It doesn't start as a task. Design new logo. Hopefully someone picks it up. It doesn't work like that. Worse is like in humans, as in a coffee, as the street. Like, I have this idea. What do you think about this idea? Oh, that's such a great idea. You start drawing on paper, and then you go home, talk about it, and go further and research, and suddenly you have no idea what you're anymore, and you start wanting to organize it. That's what this has become. It's a mess right now. If you go there, hopefully some of you will join, even if it's just out of curiosity. And you'll see that there's a lot of problems because of that, the way we had to use Facebook. But that's actually where it's fun right now. Build something out of real knowledge, how to use it. I know that all of you, even I, get frustrated with some of these tools. I improve these things. How can I read them? How many of you use email to send yourself things to remember? For example? How many of you CC 100 people emails so everybody is on board with some discussion. But you have no better tools. Sometimes you go, oh, we could use a forum. You go use a forum. It's so complex, and people, the learning curve is so big. No, we'll go back to email. No, because things are not really designed for collaboration. Designed for certain people to use these. That's what I'm actually building. Even our events are done in a certain way, thinking of those things. And I won't stop talking if you let me. Yeah. Any other questions? No, I'll end it here. Anyone wants to bring in an idea or something else? I can tell you, someone told me an amazing idea. She couldn't come today, it's Monday, and she wants to do in Helsinki or Vasa a collaborative kitchen, because there's a lot of caterers and startups in food. Actually, don't have really good kitchen. They cook at home, Finnish kitchen. and their idea is to create some kitchen like this. And of course, our struggle is, how do I make this happen? And how do I manage it? How do I how does this continue? Because even if she had the funding or the people to do it, how do you continue? Who owns it? Who manages certain parts? How do you continue communication? Do you have to pay someone to open and close the place, or all of us would get keys, for example? Does that work? Is it too weird? And maybe in Finland, no, because you trust a little bit more on these things. Like, we're here on the space, nobody asked anything. We could take stuff away. This in Portugal would never happen, for example. Yeah. But it happened. All spaces like that. We've done it 3 years, nothing ever was stolen. The few times that stuff was lost, we thought that someone probably taken was someone forgot about it, someone messed up and didn't want to tell the truth, but never something was proved like someone took something. And we have their computers and money and stuff like that. People get in and out, and since we are all owners, we're always taking care of that. Like here, for me, it was really strange. They say, oh, someone will come clean up afterwards. Like, really? It's for free, and you clean, you give coffee, and the cups, and all that. It's nice that this happens, but why aren't we participating in cleaning up the space and taking care of the coffee, best coffee for the next event? Instead, they have tens of hosts, a board, they have CEOs, and maybe funding from the city, which I would say a few tens of thousands of euros every month just to keep these space. How much money do you think we spend in whole space every month? 300 euros. Okay.
300.
Internet.
And you renovated it.
Well, the renovation was done. It was perfect condition when we went there. We bought then furniture and all the things we needed. The space is all shared. We also brought our stuff. It's one of the biggest things in this was that I bought my printer. You know what happened with my printer before? The ink would dry in the printer because I would use it once a month. Suddenly, more people can use it, and we buy the ink together. So much cheaper for me. And now we bought a bigger printer together. This is a big deal. A lot of people do this. In your workplace, you buy a better coffee machine together because the other sucks and the boss doesn't want to buy a new one. But think of this like, how can you do everything like this? Everything you do in a car. Do you buy a car together? Does law let you buy a car together? It doesn't. There's ways to make an association. And they're actually pretty simple to do. It's legal, and the law protects you. It's cheaper, don't pay taxes, okay? And it helps you to build things that you otherwise wouldn't be able. Can you buy, like, you might to buy a new kitchen? Will she pay VAT on top of that? Or could she create a cooperative and actually not pay VAT? Maybe make it simple. And learning with this, like for you, a lot of you are, when I say these things,
You know, it's not new. You know, it's just secret. You know, it's secret because it's hard to get there. It's hard to find it. It's just hard to find it. So you can create ways of this not being hard to find. You get it. Just build a topic like, look, I know what I do, where I've done it. You're like, oh, I can do it as well. You know, it sounds simple, it's not, but that's what we're trying to build.
So this is based in Portugal. That's for
it's not
us.
in Portugal.
Oh, okay. The other thing that I want to ask for us who want to do things with
Yeah.
Here. But yeah, for example, exactly. I find that for when she and other people have been coming together to make events, even charity-based events, that the platform that has been used is the Messenger on Facebook.
Yeah.
And by creating an event, and then saying, I think that's what you need.
Yeah. Yeah, right now the way it's done, and you, yeah,
to make it here.
You have like the book I told you was one person in Australia, one person in Finland, two people in Portugal, and another in Angola. Okay? Everybody was using it. This is just an online platform, of course. But for example, Yuri, who was here in Finland, traveled to Portugal, worked in the space, and went to Australia, worked from there in the same project. So just use this. Right now, it's an event inside the group on Facebook, organized in a certain way. It makes it work a little bit better. We want to build the platform where you will be able to do this without going through Facebook in that way. But right now, like, what do you miss when you're saying it's based in Portugal? It's not based in Portugal. The old space is in Portugal. The language space is in Portugal as well. We have projects happening here right now. This one is one. It's happening through Colab. You can do it as well. You miss one thing. You're saying, I don't have the people around me. What we're doing today is creating that group. Might start with 2 people. It'll grow to 3, 10, 20. Sometimes, at some point, you'll say, we'll have collabs here.
Yeah, and the other challenge was the messenger itself, the communication. At some point, like many people, first of all, it's trying to get all the time. And then because it's following, so it's following, there's not a visual better way of the communication. It's like you have to scroll. If you enter, let's say, like I did, I entered a month later. I had to go and like that was
Some people are talking about ice cream at some point.
Yeah, because it's like they are so busy. They're so just brainstorming that of course they will say that check previous menu. So it's like so of course that for this type of thing we need different platforms for communication.
That's why we use the groups, because groups give you discussion, contextual discussion. And a little bit I was telling about Harry that the chat doesn't work for that. If you have no context, the chat is important as well. So you maybe need the 2 tools in your project. So we install discussion, which you use whatever you have available. A group on Facebook, a forum-based website, a WordPress blog, whatever you need for people to discuss in context. Like this topic, comments. This topic, comments. Save the topic somehow. We started doing hashtags. Like hashtag updates. So I want to see all the updates. I'll go search for updates to get all the updates. That's one way we've done. And we want to, of course, do this automatically. Right now it's very manual. But on Messenger you can't do it. But on discussion you lose other things. You lose fast interaction, you lose this conversational discussion that is very good. So you need also chat. Okay? So we have, every group has their own channel for chat, their own channel for discussion, and other things. You need
at some point you actually need to write stuff. You start a Google Doc. But you have to learn how to use those. And you have to have one place where all these things are. Okay, so you go, where is the chat for your project? It's here. Click on a link and I go to the chat. Where is the document of you're writing your description? You go click up here and that's it. That's where to. As online, that's what we are to do.
Like I said, you don't actually need the discussion in addition to Google Docs because you can have the discussion even massively within the document as long as you set some rules.
Yeah, we've done that. We've used it in the future, but it's the same problem as I told you before. Like my mom couldn't do it. She couldn't follow or learn fast enough the rules to start discussion that way. Because it's very, I'm completely like online. Sometimes I feel more comfortable online than I'm here outside. Okay, and if I go to Google Doc and you tell me that, for me it's fun to do that. For my mom, and I'm saying my mom as an example, like for some of my friends of my age, which actually are pretty comfortable with internet, they want to. No, but this is
I don't like Google Docs.
What?
I don't like Google Docs.
Yeah. And this is Nick. Nick is, online freak, and he loves this stuff. He tries everything. He has all his profiles in every possible social media possible, and he will tell you that he doesn't like Google Docs. And why is that?
It's too much like Office software.
It's too much like work.
It's too much like work, traditional work.
This is one of the
That's not really an argument.
Yeah. It is not.
Oh. No, but it's preference. So the point is that it's not an argument, but you have to consider if people are choosing volunteering to collaborate together, then you need environments that they feel excited to be part of, or they're not just following rules, but they feel they can contribute, and that's the kind of radical part of the collaboration. Is you have to create the interest.
And that's how I ended up with Google Docs, because everyone can use Word.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah, but then if you've used Word so much, that's where you start seeking other solutions to how you can do similar things. So I think that this is, you have both sides of the scales. You have people who don't have any access or any previous experience, and then you've got people who've been working for their whole career with those types of things and want to, find another way to produce things together or whatever. So, like I say, I don't like it because I feel like it's that environment that I've wanted to shift away from. So,
and we actually are discussing a solution for this, and we're designing based on where I was telling you how important people are using discussion based for everything. Is imagine Facebook. You make a post. When you make a post, you have content there, so you have everything in context. Hopefully, people will start other discussions in your comments, which happens. But you have some context there. Now imagine that your post is about writing a document. Okay. So I'm writing a document. How do I keep the document together with the post? Normally, right now on Facebook, you can paste the link, and you have the same link there, and it actually even makes you a preview of the document, where you can click on it. So everything starts to get in context. Now imagine if you add other things to it.
I just remember that you were almost supposed to also having comment from the new computer.
Solo?
Basically. Because that's exactly what I have in mind. It's this type of tree visual that it would help tremendously.
They're trying to solve some of these problems as well. They're more into the technology side of it. I don't know how well they're organized design-wise, but they were supposed to come today. They couldn't. They're doing funny interviews. But the thing exists already. It's a small computer that you the biggest problem they want to solve is when you lose your computer, what happens? How hard it is to get back your documents. And again, it's easy for me that I back up everything. I use Dropbox and Google Docs and stuff like that. And nothing is lost. I can go tomorrow to another computer and start working.
So to have things in a safe way in the cloud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, or a simpler way. You log into your computer, you have everything back. Almost like you go to a kiosk now and buy a solver because you lost yours or broke yours. That's their idea.
With me, I have a lot of limit form.
Yeah.
Somewhere. But sorry, I don't know the
Yeah, not everybody. Like what I'm feeling right now is like fill out.
No, it's okay. Sometimes on that.
And anyway, tell us.
I think
your magazine is called Analytic. Anybody read it?
It's new.
It's online or you can...
It's like printed as this way.
There's a few copies for us.
Yeah, it's printed and this way, and also you can find it in the digital or in application.
How long have you been doing this?
Now let's say this is it's not the newest one, but this is the number 5, and about here now. So coming like
how many people?
In Finnish.
How many people?
In the team? 17.
17.
Yeah.
You work here in Helsinki?
In Helsinki.
Office? Or remote?
We have let's say a year contract with BC Popular, like for meeting rooms and stuff like that for that office. Don't have still our own office now. Next time we can talk about.
Interesting. Yeah, I think the idea here is like you could create this type of space that would happen few times that you start discussing your own projects. And that's what meetups are about.
But today there is a lot of information that I get, and I will still keep coming with these kind of events that we're making. And there is a lot of ideas belongs to the food events. We have a lot of people that can help, or even we have plans that we make this kind of events on the street, outdoors, as well. Like we are looking forward to make fashion shows on the street. These kind of things, we need to see the way how to compare together and somehow it can be just done.
Well, so people, I have what I will do is I'll get back to you, try to get you on board. Hopefully you'll say yes. At least normally 20% of the people say. What I'll do now is I'll put the stuff together. If you could help with putting this, I don't want them to put someone doing this for us. And if you want to afterwards, just go grab something to eat somewhere. I will go.
Yeah, I would like to open an invitation for everybody to join us and be close nearby. And a continuation for this conversation in 3 weeks. We have been checking the agenda here, the calendar to last week of April. To organize some kind of fraction cafe or something like that. It's like more straight objective, like talking about some project ideas and share, and then to would like to continue somehow doing this collaboration and this ideas more from our
for example,
community here in Helsinki.
The way we do meetups in Colab is that we actually divide the time for everybody, and everybody has time to use with their own projects. Nobody is made to, so they can actually give their time to someone else. So it's kind of like a shared thing. But actually, Pro Action Cafe is a tool for this type of interaction that can help. So, for example, in this case, I could say, hey, what if we use Pro Action Cafe as a tool in the meetups? We can start learning with that.
Sorry. Yeah. Put things in there. So if you want to have people please.
Yeah. Right. I think I have.
You have everybody. Okay, great.
But I'm really looking forward to seeing the next meetup. Right?
Yeah.
I think there is a lot of things.
Yeah. When you start talking about it, real interactions. Well, guys, thank you for coming and watching.
hopefully it was not too boring when you're not seeing the other people and just me talking. Bye.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Say bye to the rest of the people.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, hey, goodbye.
Yes. People what?
Pedro,
Tell me.
what was the magazine?
It's Anna left it. Where is it?
So, can I find this online? Is it already on the Facebook page?
Anna.fi.
Just a second. Say it again.
Anna.fi.
Anna.
A-N-N-A.
A-N-A.com.
Okay.
Very cool. Very well done.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
We should link there in the table.
Yeah. I've already heard mention of that. I saw it. It looks familiar to me, and I was trying to work out where I'd seen it before. So. And I mean, I'm living up in the north of Finland, so it's probably cropping up somewhere in the social media. But anyway, I had seen mention of this, and you're writing articles. Are the articles going out to all the publications? Are you selling to other newspapers, or what's the?
The magazine, let's say, is the first foreigner magazine. Let's say Arabic magazine has a Finnish language, supported by the Culture Ministry of Finland.
Right.
Because this project is like half of it supported by the Culture and Education Ministry of Finland, and the other side is like a personal fund. So the magazine needs to break the limits of the foreigner media projects in the European society.
Yeah.
So it started from Finland, and after today's event, we are really looking forward to see the way how we can develop our ideas to have an open market. Let's say in London, to have more people interested to see a different way of cultural magazines, to see different cultures in a different ways, by articles, like in sport, in fashion, in ethics issues, something like that. And we was surprising to, like when we started the magazine, it's like for foreigners, but most of our readers are Finn. So colleagues are interested for most people to get more information about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially since so many more papers are going towards a digital format, so actually you could easily connect with other publications, and that you could syndicate some of your articles, around Finland beyond the big papers, but go to some of the local ones.
Yeah, so that's why I really need to get a lot of, let's say, informations or a way of cooperations with Mr. Pedro to see maybe to share ideas, like to get more, like,
I mean, years ago I was writing for the local newspaper here as a foreigner, along with a couple of others, and at that time it was still a paper production, and they were talking then about a sort of radical design change to the printed paper, and at the same time they were going to go online, and they were planning a sort of a bigger concept to use social media and everything. And at that time they were talking about the possibility of creating a more international side to the local newspaper, but it's yet to be developed. So I think that maybe from the focus of where you are, you could actually be offering to the more remote regions a way for them to bring international content, particularly online, I'm thinking, so they're kind of syndicating it out to those newspapers, because I know that many of them, they realize they have this opportunity because of the digital technology, that they could include this other content. In the same way, for example, that Yle is producing a lot of English content now, particularly online, and I think that it's such a super idea that I've seen in the local organization here. It's called Monica, so monocultural organization, and there the articles that they are producing are written in many different languages, but also it's really cool, this idea that if they're produced in Finnish. Actually, I think that here there's also a few people who've moved here who've got the journalist and this kind of background. So I'm thinking that how could you sort of massively get in touch with those people who are, you know, moved away, maybe they're refugees or emigrated, and you've got this incredible background.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, like, let's say, last 2 weeks we got a contact from a Finnish company has a branch in London and in the Middle East. They was telling us that you are interested to making the project more like, let's say, to be more known in the Finnish society or outside Finland by making an English version, like the digital ones or Arabic ones, started from Finland. But you know, because still the project is a new one, so we need to really have to study the case and also to see is it the right time to start to think this way, and we need really advice.
Yeah.
I hope.
Hey, so if I can connect you with people, how do I do it? Where do I tell them to connect to you? Do I redirect them to your webpage, or is there a better?
I can. There is there my personal email bilal.sehli@ana.fi.
Okay.
Or through Pedro, if you can connect me to your personal Facebook, that we can just starting from there to share information.
Okay.
It will be really I will be proud of that.
Okay.
Or even in Facebook, you can find me as Bilal, B-I-L-A-L.
Okay.
Sehli, S-E-H-L-I, Analytic. And you can find that logo, a red one.
Okay.
Then I will be really interested to talk more details about.
Okay, great. All right, so thanks very much. It's really super to see your face and not just to hear the voice, because we were looking at the wall all the time. So
I'm really happy as well to talk with you. You know, there is a lot of things working on. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let you get back to the real people who are there. I'm just the virtual one, along with.
I hope to see you on the Facebook soon.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers. Thank you. Bye.
The network itself might have some.
Okay, Tita. Pedro is talking to somebody. I'm going to leave now.
Yep.
And I think has Katharina already gone, and Pedro maybe.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And I think we're still live, actually. But anyway.
Yeah, Pedro needs to close the hangout.
Okay, stay cool, have fun.
Bye
right. Bye. Bye bye to the world as well. Hey hey.
And where are you now?
Yeah, we did fun. Like we have a work. All our members like to get paid. Yeah, and the project.
How the organizing project have you
Great. The thing is, like, we don't talk us ourselves. Like, for example, every number you have
that's an
a lot of operating money. You know, for example, you write almost completely 2 articles. You get as much work doing good as for example, you say I can give a magazine to write different articles and you can write these codes. We also use our this is seasonal, like number 2.
I think we haven't counted standard.
But everything has a place.
So if I wanted to actually
next issue is next up. Learn about for example, if we start to make the number 6, let's say, we meet once before with all the writers and discuss the idea of it. In advance, we will know, like,
do I see the discussions you had? Where do I find the documents? Where do I see mock-ups? Where it's great.
This is like also.
So how can whatever community or contribution or participants in the project see? And when can this? When do you imagine that you can do that?
Yeah.
Here, 6 months, next month. I don't know. Do you think it's important?
But I know it's going to be.
What if you have
But it's one of our, let's say, support like, yeah. That would be good.
So what I'm going to do is, we're really early. We're doing this on this school. You saw how it works. It works. It really works. Especially on teams that are already doing a good job using other teams. When they have something, they have one space, what they're doing, why don't we do this before? You know, is that you try that. The thing you get from it is basically one place for you to organize another. Right now, around 200 people there. With this event we're doing now, we're actually going to open this year, maybe pretty fast, a few hundred to 1,000 people participating there. When you want to create a platform, and you will choose what you make public. Some of your discussions as a team actually doesn't really help other people to participate. Or not everybody needs to be as open as me. You might feel that I don't want to share this, but I don't want to share like how much money we make you fun. I believe that it's shareable. You don't need to do that. Again, what you actually create is a place where your possible users will be already participating in building. There's nothing as well as you have examples of this where you have tools called pockets. You actually like links. Remember where they are, and at some point we're struggling. People would reuse it, keep up with it. So someone had a radical idea. Let's just open this website. Maybe someone will find it. They open everything. People start participating, giving ideas, and they came up with one idea. Which is basically free. They could actually change their business models. That's trying to sell these they couldn't come up with it, not because they were not smart enough, not because they didn't have the tools to come up with an idea like that, but they were so much into this, they didn't see others. Another example is much bigger, like for Cardinals. Cardinals at some point was going to stop. They had fun with and the discussion started as, what is the importance or the merit of the contributors inside open source projects? Is the guy that makes a commit once a year has the same merit as someone who does every day or every week? Is it that they are the same? And the board main guy there said this was in a Colab and said, I give you an example. Last year, we almost stopped. Couldn't solve this one guy that makes one commit maybe every year. If that one commit that was so large, because of him, it's one commit that there exists. Still exists. While you, who does everything, keeps our stuff. So, are you more important than he, or is he more important than you? The change there, the radical thing was everybody's important. If you don't keep those small things, you're actually missing out on very important things. That's where we want to bring to us first things like this. Seeing how others are doing it, growing so much. And we don't know. You probably don't know much about the one thing you're doing. You might think, I know a lot because I'm doing this one thing. when you compare yourself to other people that are doing the same problems, you'll find out that you actually know very little. And they're solving problems, others are solving problems. Like, in the beginning, we're like, we came up with this great idea. We're solving our own problems, that's great. Suddenly, the more you search, the deeper you go, you find out that everybody's doing the same. Everybody's trying to do the same. The idea with us, how can we let others? Where my suggestion to you is that if you're interested, it makes sense. It's not too much work, because I know as a team, changing ways of working, learning a new thing, letting others contribute is a big deal. Answering comments, suggestions, people telling things that you already know. This is hard. Because somehow I see that what you're doing is integrated with Colab. And you know, like, imagine that you go in the direction where actually your engine has good API easily integrate.
That is something that it's there.
So we won't be able to know that. At some point, you'll in 1 year you say, oh, we have that, or in the 6 months we have that. Should I join? We've learned 10,000 new things that are good. Full trade, Dharma. That's my context. You never got into Colab. You were in silence. You never got into Colab. You're not in Colab.
I just joined
Colab is an open source. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
It's an open source movement for creating a platform for us to share ideas and develop them together, build them on top of each other. Imagine like how open source programming is done. Imagine doing that for projects, any kind of project. Okay, software. You know, because the framework of a project is the same. Teams, contributors, need a way to organize work, gates, all this. Now, when I see you work, what do I learn from that project? And when I see you work, where can I help you the most? Because I will help you if you like. Like, imagine you're designing your logo. I'm a designer. It's very hard for me not to say something. I cannot go there and if you. I cannot have two designers. Yeah, that's cool. You know, you don't need just designers. You do other things. You're a designer. Yeah. She was looking at you. Imagine this. Imagine this. I have this poster. Can you look at the poster without thinking how it's if I put somewhere where we are in the same place, the message. What about this poster? Can you not say something?
No, it's hard to say. But so the thing is that your platform open up, so whatever you put in there, well, as you said, there's levels of.
Right now, what it is a closed group. And everybody that is a member can follow any project. So anything that goes in project, you can see. We're discussing how much of this we want to make. We believe, and this is very strong, I believe, one person in Colab, I believe that the more open the better. Other people will disagree with many other things. Okay? They will tell us. But we need to come into a commitment where it is open. What is public and what is not. When we actually starting to understand it, that people should be able to choose what they share. But right now, the ones who don't want to share, when they use the project page, right now they use it as a blog for their website, for their project.
This is for any kind of project, so it's not targeted to startups or anything. So the thing is,
every project is starting is a startup.
Yeah. The main idea is like for projects, one input, Colab. I'm doing another platform, so I'm kind of not touching the same realm.
There's many things going on. And
for us, the most interesting thing is that we're not looking so much into other platforms that are doing the same thing. We're looking into real life examples and how people work together. Like that's why I asked, how do you I don't want to know how do you chat. I want to see your emails. I want to know why do you use email. Because everybody has it. Because if you get an email, you'll respond to it. And these reasons. How then can we learn with this? Bring it to the platform. You are doing this. You have to learn first how your users will use your on-teaching. This is Colab is method. So all the time it's learning with itself and becoming better. You and then telling the project to do that. You should be method all the time. You should be doing the same things you're telling others to do. Like so, your network or a platform for startups to matching startups. Simplify it, right? So if you're matching startups, how are you measuring it? How easy you are? You're matching startups. How are you using your own platform to what you're wanting to do? This is the actual thing. Colab is that. That makes a lot of change all the time. No, that isn't working. It's not working anymore. Let's change everything in your users. Where's the blue button that we want here? Change the blue button. Now it's red button. And you have to have users that are used to that. You'll have people that want to do that type of change. They're actually willing to. It's changed now. It's learning. Let's make it better. It's kind of, I use your thing, it works for me, and I don't care if you change the code, if you change options, this power user to do all the shortcuts. Very hard. And it helps also design that. Yeah. And also programmer, designer, programmer. With the idea guy. All parts are important. Yeah, but you see, you look at yourself like that, and it's normally the business people use this, almost like taking themselves out of the equation. It's not true.
He is just modest in the moment.
Yeah, but we need every type of we need someone to sing it. The logo is not nice. Sometimes someone writing a little bit of code. Someone like saying like, how you're doing this because you're not going to be able to pay. Build it this way.
And you have it up and running?
Now it's a Facebook group. It's a mess. It's a mess.
But it's still organized in a way that
it works. But it has all the bad things of being in social media. Imagine if you're working in the place where you're getting notifications.
No, I know.
But mostly because of that, we're building our own. We hope to have a better couple of months or at least an MVP. It's going pretty fast. We have mockups we want to bring out for discussion, so everybody will be alive. This makes sense. It works. Why do you keep doing this way? We start coding. We're using as basic version WordPress as a framework. So PHP, JavaScript, mostly. Yeah, WordPress is really powerful. I have a lot of experience with WordPress. But I started using it as a framework for an application. I learned how to use it. Now, if they really go fast enough with JavaScript, there's almost no other.
So who are you in your team?
Well, I started this as a group of people. This group has changed. I'm a designer in there. What I'm using right now in Colab,
I went into the direction like, well, I was small enough, and I would get money out of projects that would actually work. And then become big enough that I couldn't make any more big bills. And now it's getting to a point that I actually can use Colab the way building projects are built. An example, WordPress in Australia. WordPress, in the beginning was not a company. In a company, I'll say it's plugin WordPress, that's how they make money. They have an open source project, which is WordPress. And imagine that I can do the same. Right now we have a collective of people trying to do that. I've done that. I own 5 or 6 projects. All sides, not very profitable yet, but I've done design work for projects, I've done development work for others.
I'm curious, like how the idea came about. If you had.
We can elaborate it more. There's a post. I think I put in the event page. You have an article I wrote to give you a little bit of background. And in the next stage, these next few months, a lot happen. Mostly the big deal will be like make this work out. I've been now 3.5 months. I'm going back to Moscow. I might come back in June or earliest April. Get invited to the Colab design universities. I would like to start here. My family here. Be happy if something happens. We're actually going to be living in June. It has been working in Germany, Spain, France, in most Berlin a little bit. Mostly was like one projects, not really building community. Hamburg because I have family there. With someone bring some people here. This is made of friends here today. People that live each other. But in Birmingham we did the workshops in this. It's called. It's an organization. There's an organization for designing. We're thinking to use the public to decisions next to the space.
Oh, one idea would be like if I'm walking on the road, I see somebody, something making
Yeah, there's something like that. You actually then you make a post with an hashtag, and they gather all of that, and they actually do that. There's a few cities have that happen.
That would be an easy way. Well, yeah.